Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Tuesday, November 12th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect partly cloudy skies with a high of 82. In hour one of today's show, we'll hear from head coach Brian Kelly as we react to his press conference yesterday. We'll talk about the state of the LSU football program, and we'll look at LSU men's and women's basketball as well. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let's go, baby, let's go.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome in to another day of radio. OTB Sports Entertainment. I hope you're having a great day. T-Bob, Jake, Alondra, and Taylor hanging out today. We got the whole crew here. Excited to be here. Taylor just laid out a little bit of the show. And we got a lot of sports to talk about. A lot of different sports, right? We obviously have LSU. We got the Saints. We got multiple forms of basketball popping up, although it's looking like your greatest hope is going to lie in college basketball because the news coming out yesterday that Pelicans are expecting Zion Williamson to be sidelined 4 to 6 weeks with a hamstring issue. So we'll get there later in the show, but I think it might officially be time to call it, to stop the count. But that's fine. I don't want to start there. Brian Kelly met with the media yesterday, and I want to start there and then kind of with a state of the program, like Taylor said, because Brian Kelly was asked about this and, kind of defended current direction and whatnot. But before I do that, how's everyone doing today? Jake, what's up, man?
Feeling okay. I don't know about yourself. Nobody ever asked you how you're feeling.
I feel good. Just going on a bunch of Alabama radio shows that I said that I went on last week that I said I'd go back on. So going out here and taking the licks. It's all good though, dude.
Life's about choices and decisions.
If you want to be completely honest, if I want to be completely honest, and I am not asking anyone to feel this way or to follow me here, but I have noticed something that I thought was kind of interesting in what was going on in my own body and emotions, where I feel a bit freed from the burden of expectation. When I was watching LSU football earlier this year, right after the USC lost, I was like, okay, what was our whole talk afterwards, right? It was, okay, I think it's time to adjust our expectations for this season, right? And we can be angry about, is it off schedule? And absolutely, right? Tier 3 should be better, like all this sort of stuff. All that remains true. But when I did that, it was kind of fun going in every Saturday, not really worried about like anything grander than just the game itself. And could you survive the fight in the game? And then after Ole Miss, everything shifts. And you're like, oh, wait, no, we might be really good, actually.
Yeah.
And then so you start thinking about everything to be gained, all the glory to be had. And that's good. That's good. That's honestly, obviously where you want to be. But it does change how you're approaching each game and kind of your enjoyment of each game. And it adds a little something extra whenever anything goes wrong. And so I'm in a weird spot now where, and again, I almost didn't know if I wanted to talk about this live, but you asked me how I was doing. Because like I don't want to be misconstrued as saying like this is acceptable or good or that you should be happy with any of this. I simply mean I just simply mean what I mean. What I'm saying right now is that I found myself naturally being like, all right, you know what? We're just going to go have fun in Florida on Saturday. Let's go get ready for a fight. Take down Napier, take down Lever. I don't got to be thinking about playoff spots or seeding or anything else. It is what it is. You are who you are, but I want to win the football game. And so that's how I'm doing. Maybe this is just coping. Copium's hitting a little extra hard this morning, but yeah, that's how I'm processing, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I remember you talking about 9-3 after USC.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But then I fell back into it.
I know. I do know that. And look, Ole Miss is a really good football team. Ole Miss is one of the 10 best teams in the country. You beat them. You went on the road. You beat South Carolina. And look, I don't ever care what happened. You know, A, B, and C went your way at the end, so you were fortunate enough to win. You won. You went on the road against what looks like another really good team. And so you had some wins that certainly got your confidence up and got your expectation right back up. But, you know, I'll credit you. After USC, you're like, all right, 9-3. That's what this football team is going to be. Now, you still have work to do to be 9-3. Like,
yeah, don't go to 8-4. Don't go to 8-4.
9-3 and 8-4 completely different.
Could not be more different. And as we said yesterday, that's the awful place that you exist in now that you never want to be is where. But also that's again another thing though. When you free yourself from the burden of expectation, you lose a bit of this because everything doesn't become just like a referendum on the program as a whole. That's something else we'll get into. I still do believe as a whole in the direction. I'll lay out my reasons why, but yeah, right now for the vast majority, Jake, and for myself, I guess, even though I'll enjoy the win, it's like the wins won't. There's no wins that people are really going to champion you for or be super happy with you about. There's only losses that people will be incredibly angry about.
Yeah.
What's wild is if you win the last 3 games, Jake, you're 6-2 in the SEC for a third year in a row. And if you look at the entire Les Miles era, I would say that every 10-2 regular season, you were 6-2 in the SEC. That's traditionally been the harder hump to overcome. It's been these season opener out of conference losses that continue to kind of screw. But I think I'm getting ahead of myself a bit here because this is all sort of state of the program stuff that I want to get to. But I want to let Coach Kelly speak on his opinion on it first. But yeah, again, that's where I'm at. I'm feeling free. You know what? Bama, Ole Miss, all y'all go like, you know, argue, fight. I'll watch. I'm excited. But I'm just out here trying to worry about going into the swamp and beating DJ Lagway and the Gators. Alondra, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling a lot better than I was last week. So finally got a workout in at the block because I took like 3 days off last week.
Yeah, hell yeah,
it feels
dude.
good to get back into
the endorphins pumping again.
Man, I was down bad.
Taylor, how are you doing?
I am doing great this morning, guys. Good vibes. Tuesday, long day of work, but you know what? We're excited.
Yeah,
we bounced back emotionally from the Bama loss today. I'm good to go. Yesterday was not the best.
So you've recovered now?
Taking T-Bob's advice, 1 snap and clear. Except mine was 3 days and clear, but we're still here.
It is certainly, I mean, look, make no mistake. It is what this team is going to I'm fascinated. This is really going to reveal the character and the mettle of this team, this final stretch, right? How their actual focus is. Do they have the pride of a competitor that just wants to win, or do they only care about the stakes? And now that the stakes are lowered and you don't have a clear, obvious playoffs, here you go. Even though there are some interesting SEC tiebreakers, if you really want to get into it, maybe a bit later. What will this team give up? Will they quit? Or will they bounce back? Will they finish strong? Will they continue to play hard? And I do think contextually it's especially important for a Brian Kelly team to do so given that everything that he preaches is culture and process-based. And a good culture and a good process would be able to deal with this bitter disappointment and still come out and put your best foot forward and beat the teams you're supposed to and not let a setback turn into a spiral. So I do think that, I mean, from that standpoint, as a referendum standpoint, there is a ton on the line these next few weeks for this LSU team. And I mean, look, zoom in, right? Let's zoom in from the team as a whole on to Garrett Nussmeier. I was talking to Lee Trevanian and Mark Heim about this morning, but like,
oh, holy high school recruiting.
Yeah, I like those two guys. You know, Mark always tries to get in a shot.
The Louisiana Football Magazine, right? Lee?
No. This is well, I don't know. Maybe he's in Alabama now. This is Alabama radio people.
Maybe I get that mixed.
Louisiana Football Magazine is Lee Burkeen.
I thought,
No. He had the name right.
But basically, they were asking me about Nuss, and I was like, yeah, look, it's his first year starting. And the simple truth is, when it's your first year start, it doesn't matter how much experience you have age-wise. When it's your first year starting, everything you go through, well, it's your first time that it's happened to you, right? Yeah. So this is in his major football career. This is Nuss's first slump. You see people go through slumps in all sorts of sports. How's he going to respond to it? Can he pull out of it? As I told you, I feel like on film right now, you can see a hesitancy, a hitching, as he's kind of lost trust in his anticipation. Can he pull out of that? It's very tough. So that is not an easy thing to do. But if you're going to be a great quarterback, it's something you're going to have to do. And then obviously his success will be most tied in with the success of the team the last 3 weeks. So a lot to watch for over the next 3 weeks. But coming up next, let's get to Kelly's comments from yesterday, then kind of get into how you feel about the program right now. You can always do that by hopping in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat at youtube.com/1045 ESPN. Get your comments in there. Coming up next here for Coach Brian Kelly as he met with the media yesterday. More Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. Look, if you are in the market for a new or used vehicle, it doesn't matter, any kind of vehicle. You're on like a big old truck, like a Tundra, maybe a smaller truck like a Tacoma. The Sequoias are really nice if you're luxury SUV. Maybe you want to join me in the minivan gang. Got a bunch of kids coming along. Them sliding doors. I'm telling you, bro. There's a million different ways to open them. Toyota Sienna's right there for you. And look, it's right there brand new. The 24s and 25s. They're beautiful. Or it's a Toyota certified used vehicle where you still get warranty. Or maybe you want to rent. Or maybe you want to go test drive. Again, because that's the thing is, they'll find you the answer for you and your family. Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge today.
Yeah, go to the website and see what you can rent. Per day rental prices. Everything is available. So if you've got a trip coming up, go check those out. Something for your needs, your family's needs. AllStarToyotaBatonRouge.com.
The only thing scary about the deals at Bayou Ford is if you miss out on them. Like $15,000 off F-150. Bayou Ford has $15,000 off Ford F-150. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come out for game day and let our team make you the MVP. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and 7 have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're
Welcome back to the 9th-ranked morning sports show in America. Off the bench.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. All right, so Brian Kelly met with the media yesterday. And before we get into it, let's go ahead and get this thing started.
It's time to get to work, courtesy of Tiger Labor and Staffing, where they can help take care of screening, training, payroll, and more. Now, for starters.
With the shortest waiting period in the industry, Tiger Labor makes it easy to transfer top talent onto your payroll quickly. And Tiger Labor personally vets your workforce of all your staffing needs, whether they're short or long-term. They're not just forwarding resumes to you, but interviewing, dispatching in person every morning at 5 a.m. Tiger Labor 7. All right. I'm going to give you a couple comments. Okay, I'm going to play you a couple clips that are likely to trigger a bit. They were going to start just right off the top. Give me Kelly 1 à l'entrée.
From Monday or post game?
Monday.
Okay. The final thoughts.
Yes.
Okay.
Alabama is a fine football team. They played well. They were consistent. They did a really good job of self-scouting and making a decision as to who they were going to be in this game. They came out with a purpose and wanting to control the line of scrimmage, which they did, ran the football effectively, and were consistent in what they did. We were inconsistent, and that really is the difference. We had an opportunity to score a touchdown on the first drive. We weren't able to secure a catch. We turned the football over. We had chances to get off the field on third down. At times we weren't in the right alignments. So our guys were up for the fight. They played hard, but that's not good enough if you're not consistent.
Jake, what's your reaction when you hear that?
I mean, yeah.
It's true.
I mean, it's
true.
It's all factual, and it does roll downhill, and you got blown out. But there's a couple of scenarios in the game that you have to ask yourself, what if this happened? And he's right. Like from the very get-go, if Kyron Lacy catches that pass, all right, then it's 7-7. And then it's a different ball game. If Nussmeier doesn't throw an interception, then it's potentially going to be 21-14 if you go for two and make your conversion there.
Well, that's the inconsistency,
yes,
right? That he's talking
that's what
about
he's talking
versus Alabama,
where they took advantage of every single thing you gave them.
I mean, I think that just speaks to exactly what we said after the film review. That is a team that got outcoached and outplayed top to bottom. Like that's exactly what that soundbite speaks to of me when he's talking about them doing a good job of self-scouting, them doing a good job of executing, of dominating the trenches. It speaks to both LSU players and coaches completely getting outperformed. Here is Kelly 2 from yesterday's press conference about how when you look at it, they're kind of the same position they were last year.
Look, this is the same exact place we were last year, coming off of a loss. And so I'm going to get asked the question, what do you have to play for? All of these things. You could ask Ole Miss that when they went and beat Georgia, right? There's nothing to play for. Now they've put themselves with 2 losses, and what they feel is in the mix. We're in the same position. We've got 2 losses. Let's see where it ends up at the end of the year. What's more important is that we have to play more consistent offense, defense, and special teams. That's what's most important, not the playoffs, not anything else. Consistency in the way we play in and play out is the most important thing.
So I think that, and look, the latter half of that is true. On the Ole Miss front, I think you hear that and you're like, what are you talking about? You have 3 losses. You're already out of it. Like that was the whole point of last week. I think he means purely in the SEC, because right now you could potentially have 8 6-2 SEC teams when this is all done, and the tiebreakers could get really, really weird. I mean, I think the Ole Miss point is kind of a bad one, but I'm just trying to add maybe a little bit of explanation there. Finally, Brian Kelly was asked about, how does he feel? This is going to be Kelly 11, Alondra. How does he feel about the overall direction of the program?
So did we not win 14 consecutive games at night and we lost our first game? I would say that from that perspective, the odds are that I'm feeling pretty confident that we know what we're doing. Am I happy about what would happen? No. And our players? No. Nobody is. Especially, when you have an opportunity, as I just mentioned, to get that game into a 1-score game and have a chance to come back and win the game. But when it comes to an overall look at the program, over the last year, we won 10 out of our last 13 games. So I'm not in a position to worry about what people are saying about the overall health of the program. We have one of the top recruiting classes in the country. Those things are only going to continue to get better, and a championship program is what we're going to have here.
So I ask you then, group, how do we feel about the current state and direction of the LSU football program? As Saturday's loss, I think you could not have scripted anything worse in terms of creating anger and bitter resentment amongst the fan base. But it is one data point. So how do you feel overall about where this program is and is going right now?
You could definitely tell, even going into the A&M game, and you and I talked about it, you were getting the absolute most out of what you had. You squeezed every bit of juice out of this current team.
Yeah.
And credit to you for getting to that point. But there's certainly deficiencies on the roster that have to be looked at, have to be fixed. And in today's college football, it is incredibly difficult to create depth. And you're seeing teams like Georgia suffer because of it. Mm-hmm. Georgia no longer has stacked 5 stars on 5 stars like they always have, since Kirby's taken over, because kids aren't going to wait anymore. You're not going to get a redshirt sophomore 5-star that's waited his turn. So, how do you create depth is going to be, something that's talked about in the offseason, because this LSU team does not have depth. You had one offensive line injury, and it all goes to hell.
Yeah.
And we talked about if you had one linebacker injury, a true freshman was going to have to come in.
Yeah.
Defensive backfield feels that way as well. So there's a lot of positions. It's how do you create that depth? What can you do through the transfer portal to, build this roster maybe where it is deficient going into this next season? So, I mean, there's question marks, and it's something that's changed across the country. And you look at roster management, it's more important than ever. That's the obvious statement. So high school recruiting certainly helps with what they have coming in.
You got to land this class.
Now we'll see how they finish this. I mean, it can't be 8-4. It certainly can't be 7-5. Now, if you finish this thing off, I think you can sell that. You can still sell the future depending on who you play in a bowl game and how that happens there.
I think you got to win that bowl game too. 9-4 is not going to be good enough.
No, you do have some solid wins on your resume.
Yeah.
But it's who you lost to, how you lost to that team that's going to have everybody angry. It's you lost to a non-Nick Saban Alabama.
Yeah.
Alabama's a team that nobody likes. They don't want to hear Kalen DeBoer's record.
Well, and you lost to a non-Nick Saban Alabama and a Nick Saban final score.
Yes.
That's
what I'm saying, the way it played out.
Part. If you would have lost a close game, the fallout would not be nearly as extreme right now.
Yeah, and it's the way you lost to Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Like if you go to Texas A&M and you lose 31-24, it kind of played out like a little bit of a back and forth. You never really quite had the momentum. You never had the lead.
It's been a hell of a 90 minutes of football, guys.
No, for sure. And then if you do that, a lot of people had you losing before the season. I think I had it as the most difficult game on the schedule. Like whenever Hunt was doing his little predictions. But it's how you lost the game. You're up 17-7. You have every single ounce of momentum. They were about to leave the stadium. I was sitting right above the student section. They were in the tunnels about to leave. You gave them something to cheer for. They stayed. They impacted the game. So all of that kind of matters and how you got to your record. But there's certainly places on this roster, and every coach would agree too, that have to be fixed as you head into next year.
I would say this. On the recruiting front, you've done a really good job overall of, kind of starting to re-solidify the borders of the state and keeping people in here. And then when you look at this class, being a top 5 class, you have to finish in the top 5. I'm not so married to Bryce Underwood. I know a lot of people are, and I love Bryce Underwood, and I would love for him to be an LSU Tiger. I'm just acknowledging the fact that 5-star quarterbacks finish with the school that they sign with less than 50% of the time. So you have to. So I always kind of in those type of situations, I just kind of expect it to not work out because that's what it actually does the majority of the time. But when it does work out, then you get super excited. Whatever. But like me, I'm a big believer in recruiting from a macro standpoint. So I don't care about the individual recruits, but I do think you need to be high in the team rankings. I think that's how you keep up. So I think you got, if you land a top 5 class, A+ marks. You got to keep that going. You got to land this class. As far as the results themselves and what I thought 3 years ago versus what I think now, I think it is very clear that Coach Kelly is a very high floor coach. Now they're going to have to finish, try to prove this, right? But I think they do a good job of avoiding the disastrous years, the spirals, like 2008. You win a championship in 07, learn less miles, and you go 8-5, 3-5 in the SEC the next year. We all know about the fall off post 2019, right? In the Edo era. I think it's hard to see a Kelly team falling off quite that badly. However, it is also impossible to say that I feel the same way about Brian Kelly's ceiling that I did 3 years ago. Because the whole idea when him and Notre Dame broke up was that Notre Dame was the ceiling and that he was bumping up against it, but he was held back by South Bend. And that when you put him down here, a place where the ceiling is clearly national championship and has been for the last 3 coaches, well, you put him down here and he will finally be able to rise to the level that that his skill and ability to manage a program and coach football would dictate, right? Well, we're now 3 years in, and you're eliminated again, like we said, in probably the most bitterly disappointing way possible by the Alabama Crimson Tide, and Notre Dame has 1 loss, is in the driver's seat to be in the first 12-team playoff.
Yeah.
And so it's hard, in that breakup, you're like, well, you know what? Maybe some of that wasn't just on Notre Dame, on Kelly as well. And so, I'm not saying that he's incapable. I'm saying I thought it was almost a for sure thing. I don't feel that anymore. I think his ceiling is questionable. However, a high floor coach is not the worst thing to have. And this is where I actually really like the Scott Woodward contract. This is not a Jimbo Fisher situation where it's a complete disaster and you were on the hook. It is not a complete disaster. And the contract forces you to have patience. Because when I look right now, I love the new staff. the new defensive staff that you remade over the offseason. I think they paid real dividends. I think they're only going to continue to pay bigger and bigger dividends down the road. I think if you make look at Florida, okay? Florida's doing pretty good under Jen McElwain. They run him out of town. Doing really good under Dan Mullen. They run him out of town. And look at him now. They're going to finish maybe barely or not even bowl eligible, and yet they have to bring their coach back because it makes the most sense. So, you better be careful trying to make these giant sweeping. These are major changes, a regime change are. They're expensive, and there is no guarantee of success on the other end. So I am very comfortable with a high floor coach that maybe still can break through versus blowing it all up or advocating to blow it all up and going and restarting this process and taking another bet. No, I think that sounds like the dumbest idea I've ever heard in my life.
Yes, I wholeheartedly agree with you. And that's a slippery slope. That can turn on you real quick. I mean, there's multiple examples I think we could give. Now, there's some you could give the other way as well. Look at USC, and I know they beat you. I get that. But look at Lincoln Riley right now and where they're at.
Yeah.
And what they're doing. They've replaced Miller Moss. UCLA right now has more wins than USC. UCLA, I wouldn't be shocked if they beat USC. So it is a slippery slope there. And then, as far as the people that you brought in on defense, I know nobody's going to want to hear this because of what happened on Saturday night, but you're in a much better position than you were.
Yeah.
I mean, going back and watching the tape, now there's some individual efforts from players that certainly if we want to, and if we want to pull it up, we can talk about finishing plays when you're in a position to make a play.
About Major Burns deciding not to hit Jalen Milroe. That's
absolutely
a bad look. Mr. Go 30 done played him on.
I saw that. I saw that one on Coach's tape. Yeah. So I know they saw it before Mr. Go 30 found it.
Yeah.
The end zone copy's worse. So
Not
I mean,
good.
it's not just one thing right now. You got to take a look at, if you're a player on this team, you got to take a look in the mirror as well. And this game against Florida is a series you've dominated, right? 11 of 14, 9 of 11, 5 straight. This is your longest winning streak in this series history. You got to go. You better. I mean, when I say trust me, they want to beat you.
Yeah.
More than they almost want to beat anybody else. They're not going to feel sorry for you. They ain't going to care how bad you looked against Alabama. They just got their ass whipped too.
And I would say if you lose any of these games, then everything I just said goes out the window. Because the whole idea of the high floor thing is that, okay, you're still going to get to the 10 wins, right? So it's a razor thin margin of error here. And look, I'm not telling anybody else how to feel. I'm just saying that's my view on the situation as it stands today. Now, when we get back, I will tell you the single most bitterly disappointing number working against the Kelly era and the bottom line thing that has to be fixed coming up next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Go to Pinnacle Exterior Construction, PECbuilt.com, PECbuilt.com. Pinnacle Exterior Construction. If you look, we build the spaces, you build the memories. Whether that's a spec pool, custom pool, any size, type, or fence, outdoor living area, outdoor kitchen, bulkheads, pergolas, putting greens, turf, all of it, man. Look at the website. Look, you're watching online. Look at that gallery, dude. That is beautiful work right there, okay? Make your backyard the backyard of your dreams where you and your kids want to hang out. All of a sudden, they're not going over to Tommy's house, okay? They're sticking around.
And Tommy's house has some really cool windows.
Exactly, dude. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Pinnacle Exterior Construction, PECbuilt.com, PECbuilt.com.
But it's the pool.
Yeah.
It's the outdoor living space. It's the artificial turf that Pinnacle is going to install in your backyard, PECbuilt.com.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong.
Those crazy nights. Back to sports talk. Maybe. Off the bench.
What happened, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. Okay, so here's the stat that has to be fixed. That is really bad. Because again, it's not all like there's some interesting things, right? If you go, Taylor, look this up. Look up during Les Miles' tenure, how often he went 6-2 in the SEC or better. And I want to figure out, was this a majority of the time thing? Like what percent of time this happened?
I think it's gonna be more than you think.
I mean, I'm just thinking about my 5 years every year I was with him, we were at least 6.
Every year I was with him, we were at least 6-2. 7-1, I think, in 05.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And those are all years in which you finish with like 11 wins or better. Like a lot of times, like 11-2 in a bowl game, like very good years. My point is, generally, a 6-2 SEC year leads to a 10-2 regular season. Which is very good. So one of the weirdest quirks of the Kelly era is if you win out, you're 6-2 in the SEC, but it'll be your third 9-3 season in a row. Because remember, we had that crazy out-of-conference win streak where during Les Miles, you never lost out-of-conference games, ever. But here's the biggest difference between the Orgeron era, the Miles era, and what Brian Kelly has to get fixed in the Kelly era. Brian Kelly is 4-8 against ranked teams right now. So you're doing a good job. Hold on, Taylor. You're doing a good job of beating the bad teams, but you are not beating the good ones nearly enough. For reference, Coach O, even after the debacles of 2020 and 21, Coach O finished 20-12 against ranked teams with 13 top 10 wins and had a lot of those top 10 wins even outside of just the it wasn't all in 2019. Les Miles 42-23 against ranked teams. So that is the single biggest statistic that has to change. They were basically winning at a 66% clip. You are winning at a 33% clip right now against ranked teams under Coach PK. So how many out of Miles' years, how many 6-2 are better?
I'm still looking at individual years. I could tell you
6?
Overall, he averaged 2.3 per year, like SEC losses. So not many.
So in 05, we'll start there. 7-1 in SEC play. 06, 6-2. 07, 6-2. 08, 3-5. 09, 5-3. In 2010, 6-2. And 11, 8-0. In 2013, 6-2. And then 5-3, 4-4, 5-3.
So what is that, about 50% of the time, maybe over 50? Like 60-something percent of the time? So I guess, again, the point of that is...
Yeah, you 6 out of your 11 years.
Yeah. So the point of this whole exercise, though, is just to say that being 6-2, 3 years in the in a row in the SEC is not like god awful. Okay. Now I don't know why you keep losing these season openers, and that is really probably priority number one, even ahead of beating the ranked teams. But going 6-2, 3 years in a row in the SEC is not something you have done very often. So that speaks to the floor, that speaks to some of the consistency, the process, everything else. Now you have to figure out, how do you take that next step, the elevation step. And honestly, that's always the hardest step to take in any sport with any sort of program, right? Look at James Franklin at Penn State. Like, James Franklin is actually an awesome football coach. Penn State is actually an awesome football team and program. However, Taylor, during the break, you said you said whatever. You said it feels stagnant, right?
Stagnant, yeah. Because you were like, what's the state of the program? I was like, I don't think it's terrible, but I would say stagnant.
Exactly, right? So Penn State's similar, where, like, they are really good by every single metric, but they are stagnant. And James Franklin has not proven to be able to take that next step. I kind of view LSU in a very similar light right now. And granted, they got to finish this year strong for this to be true. But can they figure out the next step? I don't know. But again, I guess I'm just saying that I don't think things are like a disaster like some people are pointing out. And when you look at some of the numbers, it would maybe speak to it not being such a disaster. So, I mean, look, that's my overall thoughts on the program right now. I'm excited to watch this team finish. I want to see them fight. I want to see them overcome adversity and bad vibes and prove that they give a damn, and it doesn't have to be just with, like, 12-team playoffs. I want to see this recruiting class finished out. And, again, I think staying the course is absolutely the right move. Not that you have a choice, so it doesn't really matter. You're kind of freed from that anyway, thanks to the contract, which isn't the worst thing. But I'm still a long-term believer, even if I don't have, like, I thought it was basically a guarantee Brian Kelly would win a national championship when he took the job. I don't know if I believe that anymore. But I still believe that there's more good than bad right now.
Well, the landscape did change too.
Yeah,
like to your point of having that belief, the landscape changed as far as transfer portal, NIL, 12-team playoff compared to a 4-team playoff. So there's things that are different now. And there's some teams that we never would have thought had an opportunity to make a college football playoff that I think Indiana's already in.
Yeah, they're in. Oh, yeah. No, I mean, the Big Ten's getting 4 teams in, guaranteed.
And that's Penn State, Ohio State, Oregon, Indiana, all there.
The SEC, I think it's actually kind of clear now. If Notre Dame does finish and they get in, then I think it is clearly Big 12 1, ACC 1, Notre Dame, Group of 5, and then 4.
And you know what I absolutely just do not agree with, and it will absolutely happen, is if BYU continues to win. Now, they still got tough games, like at Arizona State. It's not going to be easy because if you don't pay attention, Arizona State's a good physical football team. They only got 2 losses. But if BYU continues to win and they get into the Big 12 championship game, and let's say Colorado beats them by 3.
Yeah.
And if Notre Dame gets in over them, it's literally just because of the helmet.
Yeah.
Notre Dame has a loss against Northern Illinois, who right now is not great in the MAC. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they're dominating the MAC. Northern Illinois right now is at the bottom of the MAC. They're 2-3 in conference play. And BYU's loss would be against Colorado, a top 15 Colorado team. And BYU has a better win than Notre Dame has going on the road to SMU. But because of the helmet, they would probably get in. BYU would probably get left out, and Colorado would be the only Big 12 team in.
Well, the playoff committee is going to tell you, they're going to say it's not because of the helmet. They're going to say it's because we watch the games and we're just telling you they're better.
And I would tell the playoff committee.
But that is the system.
But I mean, would I be wrong in that BYU has the better resume?
No, I think you're gonna. I think there's a ton of that going on right now, though. Right? Like, what's everybody yelling about? Like, Penn State doesn't have a ranked win, and X doesn't have a ranked win. Like,
yeah,
there's a lot of that going on. But it's the committee saying, look, we watch team, we think this team's more talented.
The eye test. When I say when somebody says eye test, you should be able to crow hop punch them. It should be like automatic. When they say eye test, you should be like, all right, well, you know what's next. I get to crow hop you.
He's gonna
crow hop is so
aggressive. Just crow hop punch Reese Davis just right in the face.
No, I like Reese.
But I mean, I don't know. They talk about these things. They're the ones that say
eye
it.
test is the dumbest. It's the laziest thing in the world. We have no idea if Notre Dame and BYU on a neutral site how that would play out. But the eye test tells me that Notre Dame would probably win that game. Okay, what can the eye test measure? It can't measure, physicality. It can't measure heart. It can't measure toughness. It doesn't measure any of that.
Yeah, I don't.
They look pretty in their uniform. That's the eye test. I saw a MAC team go to their place and beat them up.
This is why.
And I saw BYU fight like hell in the Holy War to come back.
This is why the 14-team playoff with all of its auto bids, the proposed 14-team playoff, where the SEC and Big Ten would both get 3 auto bids, Big 12 ACC would both get 2. It's one of the main reasons why I find that to be such an appealing system is it's continuing to take subjectivity out of it. Because a 12-team playoff is still infinitely better than the 4-team playoff when it comes to subjectivity, but there's still a hefty amount of it in there, as you can see from this conversation right now. So we'll see. We'll see where this all ends up going. How did we get on the playoff? I forgot.
I don't know.
Either way, that's enough. Stay of the program done. It doesn't seem like the chat agrees with us, which, again, hey, I get it, man. I get it. All I care about right now is beating Florida's ass this Saturday. When we get back, let's talk about LSU men's and women's basketball. Keep it locked, OTB.
Off the bench.
Go to centralplumbing.org, 925-8552. Centralplumbing.org, 925-8552. Central Plumbing, your one-stop plumbing shop. All your plumbing needs right there under one roof. They've been at it for over 50 years. Do you know how long that is? It's kind of crazy, actually. Is that 1980s, almost 50 years ago now. But we don't need to worry about that. They've been at it almost 50 years, guys, okay? And so you cannot hit them with a plumbing problem that they don't know how to solve. But it's not just problems. If you want to do a bathroom remodel, like a great gift idea for maybe your wife or husband, whoever, you can get a tankless water heater, any upgrade, it's all there, centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org.
Don't worry, 80s babies. It's 1974, so you got a couple of years to play with there. But that
not
is
enough
still
years.
How long they've been doing over at Central Plumbing throughout the greater Baton Rouge area, centralplumbing.org.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram can get you in a new 2024 Ram 1500 truck for only $32,898. $32,898 for a new Ram 1500 truck. All new Bayou Automotive vehicles come with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
The only thing scary about the deals at Bayou Ford is if you miss out on them, like $15,000 off F-150. Bayou Ford has $15,000 off Ford F-150. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a
Welcome in to the best morning sports-ish show around. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
What's up, yeah? So LSU women's basketball about to take the court here in 3 hours. Got a morning game. It's the field trip game. Ton of students going to be in the PMAC today. That's awesome. They're playing Charleston Southern today. We'll talk to Coach Kim Mulkey tomorrow morning, and then we'll have Coach Mulkey on every Tuesday at 8:30 for the rest of the basketball season. You know, we love Coach giving us time here every single week. She's the absolute best. In case you missed it, LSU's 2-0, having won by an average of 55 points. We know how Coach Mulkey does it at this point. She's very upfront about it, right? She likes to schedule pretty light in the out-of-conference, figure out her team, work up, and then get ready for conference play. Although there will be some tougher tests coming up, right? You got a few more smaller teams, but eventually go to the Bahamas. It's got Washington there. NC State's going to be in there. You got Stanford, who's ranked coming up a bit later as well. So you will have some out-of-conference tests, but likely not today at 11 a.m. As the big story last game was Northwestern State ended up scoring 36, but Coach wanted to hold them to 34, and they allowed a layup at the buzzer to hit 36. Because they held them to 36 last year, so they were trying to outdo themselves, and then she was ripping their ass about letting them get to 36. So, yeah, they look awesome. Again, Taylor, what do you think about the LSU men on Sunday? It was a little hairy there for a while, but finding a way to come back and beat Alabama State.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you guys on Friday. Like, they upset 2 Power 5 teams a year ago. They have all 5 of their starters back. Played LSU down to the wire last year. This is actually a similar game than it was a year ago. Cam Carter is a really good basketball player. I mean, that's my big takeaway. 21 points in each of the first 2 games. He has a chance to be an all-SEC player. I mean, he's a 6'4" guard. He could shoot from the outside. Jalen Reed has put on about 30 pounds since last year.
Giant.
Which, you know, he's 6'10". Last year he's about 220. He looks about 245 this year. So, like, he's a lot bigger. I think they play well. I think they run the court well. They defend really well. They're a little light down low. But, I mean, with Reed and Damian Collins coming off the bench, they're going to be fine down low as far as the big men go. I really like the team so far.
I'll be interested to see. Again, they are someone who I think is being doubted again from the outside. But maybe I love the direction Matt McMahon. We'll be talking to Coach McMahon throughout the season as well. I got to say real quick, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing his name, but the Advocate's beat writer for LSU basketball, Toyloy Brown, is how I would pronounce it, I suppose. He's doing a really good job. of breaking down basketball in the paper. If you want to go check out Toilo's work, it's I would definitely recommend it. All right, when we get back next hour, wait until you hear who the highest graded player from the Saints game Sunday against the Falcons was. We'll continue to talk LSU, maybe a couple more sound bites. We got OTB Mailbag coming up as well, and we have to talk about Zion Williamson and the Pelicans as Big Z out 4 to 6 weeks with a hamstring, or thought to be out 4 to 6 weeks with a hamstring. No, this is not a replay of any previous show. It is still November 12th, 2024. Unfortunately, this is definitely one of those time is a flat circle sort of moments. So stick around. And we're back with more OTB Day.
Off the bench.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram can get you in a new 2024 Ram 1500 truck for only $32,898. $32,898 for a new Ram 1500 truck. All new Bayou Automotive vehicles come with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Tuesday, November 12th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect mostly sunny skies with a high of 83 in hour 2 of today's show. We'll look at some of the grades coming back from the Saints' win over the Atlanta Falcons. We'll have OTB Mailbag and talk some New Orleans Pelicans. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let's go, baby, let's go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome in hour 2 of OTB. T-Bob Jake, Alontra, and hanging out with you today. The hour 1 did a state of the program for LSU. Well, how about you New Orleans Saints? Undefeated over the past 7 days. Haven't beaten, how's that for a stat, Alondra? Having
great stat.
Beaten the Atlanta Falcons on Sunday, and don't look now, guys, but Jake, who was the highest graded player on Sunday with a grade of 92.7 according to PFF.
It's actually gone up to 92.8.
What?
Trevor Penning.
Yes, sir, dude. Penning? 92.8? What? Against the Falcons? Highest on the team?
Yeah, run blocking was 94.7 for Trevor Penning.
Pass blocking 73.6. But still, Penning. I mean, I get, like, okay. As bad as this year has been, and as bleak as the future looks, is Trevor Penning playing all right football actually a bright spot on this season?
Yeah, considering where he was in the preseason.
I mean, we thought he was a complete disaster in the preseason. He has not been a disaster in the regular season. Now, I'm sure if we were to talk to Kubiak, he probably feels hamstrung in some ways at times and trying to game plan around this offensive line. But Penning's done all right. I guess the problem is, though, Jake, I'm thinking about it from a timing standpoint. Like, Taliesin Fuanga could actually be a part of a rebuild. Penning's schedule might be a little off for that.
Like saying he's already been in it.
How long? This is what, year 3?
This is year 3.
Yeah. So then, I mean, are you going to pick up his 4th year option when you're in the, or 5th year option when you're in the middle of a rebuild? Like, I don't know. But if nothing else, I can appreciate when a man or woman has the world crapping on him, and they find a way to find success, at least some modicum of success, when we all doubted him and told him he sucks. So
Fuaga, by the way, like, hasn't been as good in the run games I thought he would be.
I thought that was his whole deal.
I know, me too.
Yeah, I mean, he was playing left tackle as a rookie. Like, I'll give him some.
That matters in the passing game, not as much.
That's true.
In the run game. Now you're going against probably the other team's best player on the edge when you're playing left tackle, but well, I don't know. Even a lot of teams are moving their best guy to go against your right tackle.
So how about that, guys? If you have a Trevor Penning jersey, I'm sure there are not many of you, but if you do, it's a big day for you, okay? You wear that thing with pride. 92.8, according to Pro Football Focus.
Should we get you one? Yeah, but you got to replace the knockoff Ramcheck.
I did remember. I think I was tweeting after the 2-0 start about buying both a Fuanga and Penning jersey. That will not be happening. I don't think I'm going to be purchasing a Saints jersey for a little minute here. Probably going to just back off a little bit. I'm going to retire I just have I just don't want to have to just hang up another jersey next to multiple Anthony Davis Pelicans jerseys, multiple Zion Williamson Pelican jerseys. There's the B.I. Pelican jersey in there. There's the C.J. McCollum Mardi Gras jersey, which will always play on Mardi Gras, so at least there's some value there. Yeah. There's, of course, the Ram Chip Chinese knockoff jersey. Got a Jeremy Shockey, which is kind of a fun throwback.
So that's a good one.
Which Saints player would be the safest pick in buying their jersey?
I mean, okay, for long-term value, Alvin Kamara, AK's jersey will always play. That's one of those jerseys when he's done playing, you can still wear.
Cam Jordan as well.
And people are like, yeah, Cam Jordan as well. Both, but not necessarily they'll still be on the. And now AK just got the extension, so he will be around. But I don't know about how much longer Cam's got. But, like, those are jerseys that you can wear forever, and they're all-time Saints, and they'll be beloved no matter what. In terms of guys that will continue to be, like, big parts of the team going forward, I mean, Fuanga's probably at the top of the list.
I can think
simply because he's a left tackle first-rounder.
I mean, Olave's injuries, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't go Olave because of concussion.
Maybe Alontae Taylor? Maybe.
No.
Like
nobody with value is safe.
Well, that's my point. Like he's playing well. He's young.
Exactly. I mean, that's why he's not safe during a potential rebuild. Nobody with value. Like you're just not going to go outside of Fuanga because he's young left tackle. You just picked him.
Will, like in 10 years, will like Taysom Hill still be a deep cut?
Is Taysom Hill a deep cut now?
I don't know. Like you see a number of Hill jerseys still in the Superdome.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like Hill.
I'm saying, but like one that's going to still stay in the test
you're saying
of time.
Can you stay the same way? Like, do I give Taysom Hill the same category as AK and Cam in terms of jerseys you could continue to wear? Yeah, probably. I don't see Taysom Hill going anywhere else.
No,
he's not going to be as beloved as Cam or AK. Unfortunately for Hill, you would have. In a perfect world. You almost could have, what if you could have had Taysom Hill the last couple of years in that prime Breeze era when you were starting this project? Because at that time, it still wasn't fully fleshed out. He was still trying to play quarterback, try to do this or that, whereas his role has gotten much more refined and much more effective and defined over the last couple of years. I would have loved. So I guess my point is the lack of winning as Taysom Hill's gotten better and better and better is going to take away from his overall legacy as a Saint. But it would have been fascinating to see how beloved he could have become and the entire package could have become had it been a bit more effective, as effective as now, but when you were winning more games. Because remember back then we were like, well, why are you taking Drew Brees off the field? Blah, blah, it made me feel a bit different nowadays with how much better it's been.
Tyron jersey probably will play for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, it's Tyron Matthew.
Yeah.
You wear him to anything Louisiana, you're good to go.
That's the only Saints jersey I have. Tyron.
But yeah, I mean, again though, current players that will be on the team for the next few years. I mean, damn. For real, Jake's right. There are not. I mean, like who outside of Fuanga? Who for real? Not Kendra Miller.
And nobody's getting,
I mean, Brian Brzee.
No.
I mean, who knows? 5th-year option. Who knows?
No.
No. There's not anyone. Taylor, if you had to buy a Cowboys jersey right now, who would you buy?
CD Lamb.
Okay, that's fair.
Lamb's
going to play.
I already have a Micah Parsons one.
Yeah.
Plus, Micah's come pissing me off right now. So.
Wait, but Dak, though... Dak just signed a huge extension.
He did, yeah.
So you could buy a Dak jersey. He's still going to be there.
Like if I wanted to, I could. Yes, he will be on the team. I'm not going to do that.
He's still going to be there, though.
He will be.
No. Are you mad? Are you still mad at Parsons for podcasting?
No, I'm mad at Micah Parsons.
Do you want him to just shut up and dribble?
No, you didn't hear what he said in the post-game comments?
No.
I mean, the whole team's playing bad, obviously. Like head coach, owner, GM, players, it's all a mess. And he's in the locker room. He's like, yeah, I feel bad for these guys on the team. Like, they've worked way harder than Mike McCarthy ever has. Like, literally in the postgame. I'm like, bro.
What?
For no reason. Like, why are you throwing your head coach under the bus right now? Like, what are we doing?
Let's go.
Micah just needs to just chill. Just take a step back.
Sylvain Alarcon.
I mean, he did take up for his teammates, though.
True. Big team guy.
Well, I mean, like maybe he's clearly trying to say that they don't like the head coach.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine, but
Sylvain says, I'm behind, but comparing LSU and Notre Dame situations are hardly comparable. Notre Dame has soft schedules. Top 25 teams they play are typically in the 20s. That's fine. I'm not comparing. Like, I'm just acknowledging the basic fact that Notre Dame is in a driver's spot for a playoff seat right now, post Brian Kelly, and LSU is going to fight to go 9-3 again for the third year in a row. Like, I get, there's nuance there and you could dive in, but like that is the fact that people will hold up when evaluating this sort of stuff. William Anthony, talking about his Saints series. I've got Hebert, Manning, Jackson, Mills, Shockey, Breeze, Deuce, Kamara. I'm looking for a Vaughn Johnson. That's a good collection.
Ooh, Vaughn Johnson, deep cut, like that.
Patrick Vine says Notre Dame's recruited much better since Kelly left. Is that true? I mean, I know if you're telling TV, I just wonder if that's true. I'm not saying it is or is not. I wonder what are the actual like rankings under Kelly versus what they are now. All right.
We also look there could be an argument for all, like, if you want to throw Notre Dame in there, I can also say they lost to Marshall in Northern Illinois.
Yeah, and yeah.
So like, let's not act like Notre Dame is perfect.
No, Notre Dame has. I mean, it's funny. The Notre Dame BK breakup saga has had many twists and turns.
Yeah,
it's been a week-to-week basis where this
really
side's
has.
winning, the next side's winning, this side's winning, the next side's winning. It's just right now, Notre Dame's in the lead. But if they blow a game down the stretch here and end up missing the playoffs, then it's
right
all
now Notre
even
Dame's
Stevens
14th
again.
in recruiting in this cycle.
Yeah.
Last year, Notre Dame was 11th and you were 7th.
Jeremy Fryer, nobody has a Devery Henderson jersey. Actually, I didn't check my closet. I know I used to have one. There could be a Devery jersey somewhere back. It was my little brother's. There could be someone. Could be back there potentially. T-Pow. Oh no, Mike McCarthy's going to eat Micah. All right. When we get back, we got OTB Mailbag. So you want to ask questions, statements, whatever. Hashtag OTB Mailbag in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat. Talk Pelicans on the other side of that. Keep it locked here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McCurtain, injury attorney, 225-888-8888, 225-888-8888. That's the number to call. You need somebody who's going to stand up to the big insurance companies, get you what you deserve. That's Gordon. Get Gordon. Okay, there's another marketing idea, guys. Y'all remember Guts?
The show?
Yeah.
Global Guts?
Yeah, wasn't it like Guts? Do a Guts thing. And instead of getting a piece of the aggro crag, I don't know, you get a pile of money or something. I don't know. 225-888-8888. Go check them out. Follow them on social media at Get Gordon.
Get Gordon is the website. Get Gordon's the handle on all major social media to see what they're doing in the community and with your favorite athlete in Louisiana. You can always pick up the phone, your area code in Louisiana, followed by 888-8888. Get Gordon and get it done.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
It's an everyday thing here. We work horses in the mornings and we work on the property during the day, and without these John Deere tractors, it'd almost be impossible to keep up with the place. I've dealt with some of the other colors and stuff, and I never really got the response back that I get from John Deere, We really enjoy dealing with Sunshine. They're good people. They always check on us and make sure our equipment's running, and we love them. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps are held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756.
Back to sports talk. Maybe. Off the bench.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Right now, it's time for a little OTB Mailbag.
Special delivery! I have this special delivery for off the bench. And look, it is marked most urgent.
We'll be writing to you.
The internet. What the is the internet?
Hashtag OTB Mailbag. When are we getting Zydeco merch on the table? They are Baton Rouge's only professional sports team.
Whenever they give us some.
Give me a Zydeco jersey, guys. I'll wear it.
I got a shirt we can put on the desk.
Nope. I want a XX hockey jersey. There's nothing more comfortable than hockey jerseys. Give me a Zydeco jersey. I'll definitely wear it. You can maybe give us like a scarf
Sweater.
or something. I don't know.
I can maybe get a shirt.
Yeah, you're right.
Up.
My bad. Give me a Zydeco sweater. Hashtag OTB Mailbag. Hard or soft taco?
Soft.
Soft.
Ooh, hard.
Love a good soft taco.
Good old crunch. You gonna talk
Flour or corn tortillas?
Corn.
It depends.
I think when executed correctly, corn.
I'm going to go flour.
Flours have a way higher floor, though. It's way easier to make a bad corn tortilla than it is a bad flour tortilla.
Make a corn too dry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if a corn's good, I think its peak is better. Hashtag OTB Mailbag. Have y'all started decorating for Christmas? I did get lit, and I think actually this Friday, I think I'm going to say F it and make gumbo and decorate for Christmas. I'm not going to put up a tree yet, but sorry, Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I mean, we're already halfway through November. You might as well.
Might as well, dude.
Yeah.
You know, for the kids, they like it.
Yeah.
Get a little red and green and jangling in my life. Anybody else start decorating?
No, not yet. Katie's got, she's hosting something for some friends at the house. That's kind of like a fall theme this weekend. But after that, like right after that, I think she's like Christmas.
Autumnal party.
It's
Lots of pumpkins.
It's a baby shower, but the theme is not our baby shower.
Browns and
Not our baby
yellows and
shower.
whatnot.
Yeah.
And reds.
Creams.
And creme.
No reds. Reds are Christmas.
Yeah.
Autumnal. Well, I'm thinking of like, I guess more like a burgundy, maybe
Yeah.
like a leaf red, not a vibrant red. Hashtag OTB Mailbag. We need to stop the BS excuse of BK had to rebuild after Coach O because Bama lost 42 players after Saban left. Just kicked our butts in DeBoer's year one. Their Vandy loss makes it worse. It's not a bad point. I mean, I don't agree with, like, you have to... look, I think PK took over a rough situation and had to make the most of it, but, like, there were avenues to making it better that you failed at. Mainly the transfer portal year 2 was a disaster. This year was a bit better, but year 2 was a disaster. Year 1, complete success.
Yeah.
But yeah. So.
Yeah, you'd give a lot to have Bernard Converse on a team like this.
Mm-hmm. Kai Garner, Greg Brooks, which the whole situation's awful. Continue to pray for Greg Brooks and his family. Hashtag OTB Mailbag. Favorite Nickelodeon show?
SpongeBob.
Oh.
Like
how
cartoon?
Original. Could be anything.
Hey, dude.
Yeah. See, there you go.
I used to watch Drake and Josh a lot as a kid.
Yeah, I loved Drake and
You
Josh.
feel like you watched Drake and Josh
I did.
a lot
That's
as
what
a
I was
kid.
just saying.
Alondra, are you a fan of... I forgot who's who. Hasn't Drake gone on to become a Latin music star?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Oh, you had no idea?
I
Okay.
had no idea.
Look at me.
Shout out Drake.
Who's the actual Latin representation on the show?
You.
It seems like it.
That feels wrong.
Rugrats is mine. I freaking love Rugrats. I actually watched a few episodes with my kids a few months back, and I'm shocked at how funny that show is as an adult. There are a lot of adult kind of things that you can relate to in that I did not appreciate as a child. Not like dirty jokes. I mean like funny parenting stuff like that. Just like run like everyday life. Like, oh, that's funny. Good job, Rugrats. I love you. I always loved Chucky,
Yeah.
I felt like Chucky. I was always scared.
I like the underdog always.
Hashtag OTB Mailbag. How does the loss to Bama affect this recruiting class, all the recruits that were at the game? So all the articles and On 3 and everything are all like, it's all good, basically, but I don't ever know, right? I'll say this. You can still land these guys, but in no way did Saturday help. At least not in the game itself. The visit overall, I'm sure they got shown a great time. But no, the game itself, there's no way it helped. You killed an incredible stadium in a dismal, rainy night against your arch rival. You got embarrassed.
That's one of like the more frustrating things about it, though, is like the hype that was around the game and how the vibe around campus was lit.
It was so crazy.
All
it
the
felt
recruits, they're like how Jake was saying, CJ McCollum was there, Willie Green was there, Jordan Davis, and like everybody was there for us to score one touchdown in the last 11 seconds of the game.
It's not great, Bob.
No.
But oftentimes you try to spin it.
Yeah.
Hey, if you were here, that would never happen.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
That's the play. Daniel Blunt, hashtag OTB Mailbag. With the holiday season upon us, what gifts are you looking forward to giving? And what's your best gag gift story? I don't know if I had to think about it. I don't have one there. I really want to buy my son a like badass castle playset, but I don't know if he's old enough yet.
For you or for him?
For me.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
That's what I thought.
For me, obviously. But yeah, because like castle playsets have come a long way since I was a kid.
Then just say I want to buy myself one and do it.
Well, no, because I'm waiting until he can enjoy it. I think it'd be now. I mean, honestly, it'd probably benefit wait another year.
Yeah.
But, last year we got the girls like the big old Barbie dream house, which is just a plastic monstrosity. And they never play with it. Played with it for a little bit. Like every other toy, it's just shuttled into nothingness. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting in plastic. I mean, did you ever play? Anybody ever play with that classic? I can't remember the name of it. You'd recognize if you saw it, the castle play set with the little squat like black and gold knights and I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know which one I'm talking about? Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody had that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, what are y'all looking forward to giving?
I don't know what I'm looking forward to giving, but one of the best gag gifts that I ever gave was an ornament with Jeffrey Epstein on it that said this ornament didn't hang itself.
It's a good ornament.
Yeah.
One
of my faves.
These aren't really gag gifts,
that's
but
fantastic.
Starting about 2 years ago, like we had an ugly ornament contest. Last year we had
What'd you do? Just like put a picture of yourself on an ornament and give it to your family?
No.
They'll fake laugh. I hadn't seen that in a while.
Last year we did the Nutcracker contest, so like we'll probably do some
Nutcracker
gag
contest
thing
is
this
very
year.
wholesome.
Now,
I like that a
They're
lot.
not gifts, like because we're not giving them. We're just having like a contest of like who can make the ugliest Nutcracker, who can do the ugliest ornament, like that type of thing. So
What'd you do? Just like put a picture of your face on the Nutcracker?
no, it was
I know you did a good one. Y'all did that TK and you did Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, right?
Yeah, half and half.
Yeah, it was good.
Straight down the middle.
It was a good nutcracker.
I mean, we won.
Also, to be fair to you, maybe that stuff's a little tired now. It was still fresh at the time. Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce thing
this was last.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was last Christmas.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. How do we trust and believe in BK's progress when he's clearly regressing? Did Jaden Daniels really cover up so many things that we thought this team was much closer than they are?
Again, are they regressing or is it just stagnant?
Well, I was going to say, because if you finish, and so much about the finish, right? But if you finish 10-3 this year without a Heisman Trophy quarterback, you've progressed in some areas, but obviously regressed in others, right? So like Taylor said, it kind of comes out to being a net 0 in the end. So yeah, I don't know if I agree with clear regressing unless you finish underneath that 10-win mark. Then obviously
10-4 first year, 10-3 last year, right?
Yeah.
So if he goes 10-3 this year, yeah, like it's hard to say that's a regression.
No, I agree because it's not. Like, actually, it's not. But it could be. But I mean, that's not a guarantee.
No, it's not.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. How important do you think it is for coaches to have SEC experience to recruit the SEC?
I think it used to matter. I don't feel it matters as much as it once did. And Louisiana is uniquely different than the rest of the SEC. I think if you find your way into the high schools in Louisiana, it doesn't matter how much SEC you've had. It's like, can you do that? Can you be welcome into all of the schools in Louisiana? And I know this is one of those days where everybody wants us to just throw slander on the coaching staff. This coaching staff, in my opinion, has done a much better job of recruiting North Louisiana than the one before.
Yeah.
And it's a priority for them to recruit the entire state.
Look, I mean, we just looked it up. Notre Dame basically doing the same thing recruiting now that they were under Brian Kelly. And like I said, LSU's done a really good job keeping players, like Jake said, from everywhere in the state, in-state. And now you're potentially looking at a top 5 class in the entire country. Like, that's all objectively really good. So, and Bo Davis is an elite recruiter. Like, Baker's great. Like, you've gotten much better.
Raven.
Yeah, you've gotten much better with those guys that you brought in there. Hashtag OTB mailbag, Jake Paul or Mike Tyson. How about this? Like, I'm sick of both, you know?
Yeah.
Do it or don't. What are we talking about? Are they still talking about fighting?
Oh, yeah. It's coming up this weekend. And
oh, it's actually going to happen?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's really stupid.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, now I'm
and
kind
it's
of
an
back in.
actual sanctioned fight.
I thought it was still like months away.
No, it's this weekend.
Oh.
You said it is an actual.
It's a sanction. Like, this
fight?
is going to go on his record.
I hope he doesn't just fall for money.
I would love to see.
Well, he's getting paid either way, right?
Yeah.
So, like, he's not like, unless you're saying like being paid under the table to take a fall. Yeah, I mean, I don't think Tyson would do that. That sounds crazy.
Money will do some crazy things.
I feel like Tyson's probably like, even though he had all that money stuff back in the day, I feel like he got rich post hangover. Like, because then he got the weed companies.
Yeah,
he had like a lot, like his brand came back in a strong
I'm not
way.
saying he's
I could
hurting.
be wrong.
I'm not saying he's hurting by any means. I'm just saying.
I'm going to go Tyson just because, you know, I mean, I'm probably wrong. I think that the smart money's probably on the younger man to win it. But give me Iron Mike, baby. Do it for the old head.
Yeah, for sure. I want Iron Mike to win that.
Yeah, same.
No doubt.
Seeing Iron Mike knock somebody out one more time at the age of 60
Yeah,
would be
awesome.
lit. But I don't know about that.
We should call Taylor Take Paul. Take Paul, what do you think?
Take Paul. Well, I think Mike Tyson will win it because, well, I think he's a better boxer. But also, the good news is the fight is this weekend. I'm very busy, so I don't actually have to accidentally watch this. So,
I mean, wait, it's a 2:30 kickoff, right? This weekend?
Yeah, it's a 2:30 kickoff this weekend.
So then I have time for John Jones and...
Oh, wow.
John Jones I would watch. Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, zero chance.
I'm actually not too interested in either of these fights, but I'm definitely going to watch them.
Hashtag OTB Mailbag. Do you wet your toothbrush before or after you put toothpaste on it?
After.
I
do both.
I get my toothbrush, I put it under water, and then without toothpaste, I clean everything because there's stuff on there, and then I wash it off again, then put toothpaste on it, and then brush my
Very
teeth.
interesting. I've never heard of that technique. It does make sense, though.
Yeah. Because then, if you just initially...
Fight is Friday. Okay, cool.
Oh, super busy Friday.
I'll be in Gainesville, Florida. I bet the hotel doesn't have Netflix in Gainesville to watch the fight.
Little phone.
Oh,
action.
it's
Is the
on
hotel in
Netflix?
Gainesville going to have
It's
a TV?
Netflix.
Is the bigger question.
Oh, so I don't even have to pay for it.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
I might watch it.
Either way, I got the hookup.
If I don't have to
on
pay
fights.
for it, I might watch it.
I don't ever pay for a fight.
Hashtag OTB Mailbag. In today's college football landscape, are you shooting yourself in the foot not having a quarterback who's a dual threat guy? How much of a disadvantage you at by not having one? I think at this moment right now, pocket quarterbacks are having a bad time. I think a dual threat quarterback does allow you more margin of error, but I also don't believe that like pocket quarterbacks are just absolutely.
I think that's probably worth more of a conversation.
Yeah.
Than a quick glance. Because there's three quarterbacks. It's a pocket passer, it's a dual threat, and it's somebody that can move within the pocket.
Yeah. Well, and there's guys like, again, like I said yesterday, Drew Aller. How do you define him? He's definitely not like a true dual threat, but
he can run.
They use his legs quite a bit. Like a true pocket's like your Beck, your Nussmeier, who are both really struggling right now, and those are two big guys that are really struggling. But just last year, Carson Beck was awesome, and we thought he was going to be the number one pick. So it's like, I think, yeah, like Jake said, there's nuance there.
Because Cam Ward's not a true dual threat quarterback, but his movement within the pocket, like same thing for Shadur Sanders, same thing. Like Jackson Dart has some dual threat capabilities, but I really think it's just him improvising in the pocket, and I think that's a different conversation than just, true dual threat like Jalen Milroe or a true pocket passer like a Carson Beck.
Hashtag OTB Mailbag. Wait, where did I lost my questions. Let's see if we get one more.
Is that old Greg?
I'm old Greg. I take some Baileys out of his shoe.
That's an old deep cut.
Okay, we'll do two. Blake Miller wants to know, Alondra, how many 12-6 elbows will John Jones throw this weekend?
I don't know. I'm very interested in this because, they're both old. I don't know. They're both old. Like, Stipe is 42, and then John Jones is 37, and they both haven't fought. John Jones in, a
with
year.
the old talk, when you say
old
37.
in terms of, fighters.
Yeah, it is old.
For fighters.
Jesus.
For fighters.
Yeah, the way you said that.
In context, for fighters. 37 is very young, very spry.
Thank you.
But yeah, they both haven't fought in a long time, so I don't know. We'll see. Definitely going to be some elbows in there.
Hashtag OTB Mailbag. Lost it. Wait, hold on. Here it is. If you had the power to remove Clemson as our week 1 opponent for the next 2 years and replace him with a group 4 team, group 5 team, would you do it?
Can we keep Clemson on the schedule but just move them from week 1?
No.
No, I want to play Clemson. I would prefer playing week 2, but
Me too.
I do want to play Clemson.
How about this?
Yeah.
How about you stop? Look, the teams you're losing to, guess what? They have to play you, and they're winning.
How about
you
you make that mean something?
Yeah, how about you just win? How about that? I don't want to freaking be so soft as to change scheduling. How about you just win? Nerds.
It's a great point. They have to play you. Make that mean something.
All right. That'll do it. Old Greg is now one of the hosts on the British Baking Show. Is that true?
Mm-hmm. Victoria told me that a month ago. I learned it. Yeah.
So he went on to have a successful entertainment career after Old Greg. Hell yeah! But he's not playing Old Greg on the
no. He's like a normal.
Show. That would be fantastic.
Old Greg, yeah.
No, it didn't even look like him. Victoria was like, "Hey, that's the guy that played Old Greg."
Wow. It's like seeing that Justin Guarini's Little Sweet. You're like, what? Look at that, dude. Shout out Justin. All right, when he's been hosting that show for like 10 years. Look, I don't know, guys. I've never seen British Bake Off or whatever. I know a lot of people love it. I've never seen it. When we get back, we got to talk Pelicans. Keep it locked, OTB.
Ooh.
Off the bench.
Go to main event.com today, and let's make your next corporate event, party, holiday party, maybe a company milestone, just a team bonding event, maybe just taking out your family for some fun, right? Let's make it a hit. That's what Main Event does. Now, if it is a business or big birthday party or something like that, we have dedicated party planners ready to go when you need them to make sure that everything runs smoothly. So all you focus on is having fun, and we at Main Event take care of everything else. All you worry about is going to maybe do some bowling, maybe take advantage of the multi-level laser tag arena, over 100 arcade games, the new revised menu, drinks, everything at mainevent.com.
When you go to the website, you'll see exactly what T-Bob's talking about. Book your party today. But remember, if it's just you and the family, want to go eat dinner, want to go play games and bowl, you can do that. It is whatever you want, and they'll make it fun. Mainevent.com.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving.
Welcome back to more sports talk with some other stuff mixed in. Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Welcome back to OTB. All right, so look, we're not going to spend super long here, but my God, it continues to be just one of sports' worst experiences being a New Orleans Pelicans fan. I know I've told the story multiple times, but I always kind of sit back and laugh at looking at Browns fans or, I'll be like, man, how do they still care so much? How do they do it? And then one day I woke up and I realized, oh, wait, that's me. It's like I am. That's who we are. If you are someone who's a fan of the Pelicans, that's who you are, basically. And well, even though this NBA season has just begun, it's really hard not to feel like it's already over. The Pelicans fall last night to the Brooklyn Nets with, imagine this, guys, a fourth quarter collapse. They went 0 of 8 over the final 3 minutes, 30 seconds of that game. They lose 107-105. It marks the Pelicans' 5th loss in a row. They have now lost 8 of their last 9. Is it 3-10 now? Or 3-9?
I thought it was 3-9.
Okay, it's 3-9. That makes sense because they started 2-1. So they've lost 8 of their last
3-8.
I was going to say 3-8.
Oh, 3-8. Okay, there we go.
3-8. You're right, because you did mention 3-7 yesterday.
But you've lost 8 of your last 9, 5 in a row, and here's your next 6 games: Thunder, Nuggets, Lakers, Mavs, Cavs, Warriors. And yesterday, it's announced that Zion Williamson, imagine this, sidelined indefinitely with a hamstring injury. Sideline indefinitely is the official word. Some sources are saying that the Pelicans are saying they expect 4 to 6 weeks. Print the graphic. Will be reevaluated in 4 to 6 weeks. It's unbelievable. So here you sit. We're not even.
Even Ben Simmons played 22 minutes yesterday against you.
We're not even. I mean,
That's what I was talking about earlier.
We're a month into the season, right? About a month into the season, and you're already done. You're already done. I mean, who knows how bad this thing gets? 4-13, 4-12, whatever. It's. And again, I guess my overall point is this: when I saw that Zion news yesterday, the same way that I was freed from the burden of expectation with the LSU Tigers, now they've been eliminated from playoff contention. I'm done. I'm done holding out any hope for the Zion Williamson era. I'll still watch the games occasionally. Maybe when I'm bored or if I just want some background noise or if it's a big game. But I am done putting any emotion into it. I'm done expecting them to finally figure it out. I'm done expecting Zion to be available. And I'm not even coming, I want to be clear. I'm not coming from an angry, screw that guy, right? I don't think I can really know how much of this is Zion's fault, right? Is he taking care of his body? I don't know, man. I don't see what his day-to-day life is like. We can go by reports, which you hear both things. So I'm not coming from a screw that guy situation. I'm coming just from the fact that it's just clear. Whatever. His body betrayed him. He can't do it. He just can't do it. He cannot be available. So he will never be the centerpiece of a good team, at least not here, knowing the Pelicans maybe finally does go elsewhere and then he plays every game for 10 years straight. But it ain't happening here.
I think you need to find out. And I'm with you. This is not coming from an anger, how can he continue to miss a soft? It's not that. I don't think that's the case. I really don't. I'm like you. I think his body has failed him. I always talk about him and the Bosa brothers kind of together. They are such physical freaks that it is hard for them to stay healthy.
Yeah.
There's a ton of muscle strains, and there's just a ton of injuries. And for whatever reason, don't know why. I would find out if you would regret trading him because I think I'd have to make a move. You got to get something right now. This roster is not put together in any way the best shape as far as the personnel that you have. You have a lot of the same on this roster. You got to get something a little bit different. I mean, you got to get healthy, obviously. I mean, you got guys playing for the Pelicans that, nobody knows. Guys that cover the team probably having to find out, bios on these guys before tip-off.
Yeah.
But I'd have to find something for him because I'm like you, he can't be the centerpiece because he's just not available consistently enough. And it's really, I mean, it's kind of the theme of the team. Like Trey Murphy, Trey never goes into a season and it feels like healthy.
No.
He finally played last night. Like, it's just injury after. CJ's out right now. Herb's out right now.
DeJounte
Murray's
broke
out
his hand in
right
the
now.
first game going for a triple.
I mean, B.I., the guy that everybody wanted to get out of town, hell, he's in there.
It sucks because I was a huge Willie Green believer, but I'll be damned if this doesn't maybe feel like the end of the Willie Green, David Griffin era. And how could it not be? Unless you could just continue to do the same things over and over again. This is a team that I always felt like I could see the vision, I could see the potential, but injuries have just continued to define them. Hey, Misi's pretty good, though. Went for 17-11 last night. First double-double of his career, but yeah, man. I'm not going to kick that football, okay, Lucy? You win. You've broken me.
You know who we don't, obviously we won't talk a ton of NBA here. And when we do, it's singular Pelicans talk.
Yeah.
Cam Thomas has turned into a damn good NBA player.
Yeah.
He's averaging 24.5 points, which is 13th best in the NBA right
He's
now.
one of the most natural scorers in the entire league.
You actually had two LSU Tigers play pretty well against you last night with Ben Simmons and Cam Thomas. Hell, Ben Simmons had 12 assists.
I don't need to hear about Ben Simmons.
I'm just saying he did. He had 12 assists.
Anyway,
Played 22 minutes.
So again, Pelicans fans.
You played Jemison III and Reeves and Noel. Jalen Noel. Yeah.
Yeah.
You played last night.
Like Aramir says, do not trust to hope. It is forsaken in these lands. So I have no hope left. I've been broken. I still think the TV package kind of remains very odd, but whatever. It doesn't matter. Who cares?
Can I
They're not
interest
putting a
you
product worth paying
No,
for anyway.
you can't.
in a 5-6 Spurs team?
No.
No.
You think?
I mean,
you think,
hell,
like,
even
you
the
think
Knicks
I
are
feel
4-5.
Wimby
bad?
had 34 points last
Alondra,
night.
you have to understand the Spurs will never be plucky underdogs to me. Like, them being bad, I'm like, good. Y'all won 2 decades in a row.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel for y'all. I don't, like, it bums me out that y'all are back on the rise. Like, it bums me out that you got a first overall pick that actually is generational
Yeah.
and is going to lead you back to championships. No, I'm not cheering for the Spurs.
Yeah, 34 points, 14 rebounds last night.
We just need LSU basketball to be okay. I mean, we know Coach
think they
Mulkey's
will
going to
be.
take care of business. We
Yeah.
need Coach McMahon to take care of business. Otherwise, it's going to be a lot. And then we got baseball. LSU baseball is really the thing holding it down for the spring right now. But because it certainly ain't your New Orleans Pelicans.
God, it was so fun.
Officially done.
A couple of years ago
Mhm.
when they were pushing the Suns. And they didn't win, but it was something that created an emotion
When
out
it's
of you
good,
watching
it's
Pelicans
incredibly fun.
basketball.
Yeah, when it's good.
I mean,
it's
I'm
incredibly fun.
at the beach watching the Pelicans.
Yeah, I know.
Like, great vibes. Even in a loss, it was like, okay, they fought like hell. That was fun. That seems like it's so far away. It's on Mars right now.
Well, it was. I mean, it is. All right, when we get back, wrap up hour 2 of OTB.
Off the bench.
Go to the Queen of Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall television's there because it's your ultimate destination for football. The Queen has been completely renovated top to bottom. It is beautiful, y'all. It's a great way to spend a fun night or day if you just want to go in and watch some football, man. Again, that DraftKings Sportsbook, cash in, cash out, wall-to-wall TVs. Got a great bar set up right there, great booths. You can get delicious food from the 1717 Restaurant and Lounge, or you pop over to Shaq's Big Chicken, get yourself a little coffee at Capital Coffee so you can stay sharp. Go play some casino games. I mean, it's all there. The Queen of Baton Rouge, thequeenbr.com, thequeenbr.com.
Yeah, in the month of November, remember $85,000 driving style Mercedes drawing. That is Fridays throughout the month of November. We tell you about the DraftKings Sportsbook Parlay Paydays. That's Mondays throughout November. So, look, they've got so many great things going on, and they always have the DraftKings Sportsbook. Go watch your sports there. Thequeenbr.com, thequeenbr.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play. with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
It's an everyday thing here. We work horses in the mornings and we work on the property during the day, and without these John Deere tractors, it'd almost be impossible to keep up with the place. I've dealt with some of the other colors and stuff, and I never really got the response back that I get from John Deere, We really enjoy dealing with Sunshine. They're good people. They always check on us and make sure our equipment's running, and we love them. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered.
How quickly will this segment leave the rails? It's Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Get ready to close up hour number 2. We got Nick Underhill kicking off hour 3, talking black and gold and the Rizzler. After that boom of a game on Sunday, is it going to be a boom or doom in this next week? We'll figure out. Also, we got Joe Gatto from Impractical Jokers coming on at 9:40. Don't ask me how this happened. Random marketing email popped up, and I was like, yeah, sure, this sounds fun, I guess. I know nothing about Joe Gatto, guys. So we are going to have to spend this next hour preparing like we freaking love Joe Gatto and Impractical Jokers.
You've never seen Impractical Jokers?
Couple episodes.
I used to be obsessed with it.
It's a good show, don't get me wrong. Opie and Anthony used to have a bit back in the day sometimes where they would make when they'd have new guests on they didn't really know, like celebrity stuff, they'd make their producers pretend to be Opie and Anthony.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to the Impractical Joker and make you two be T-Bob and Jake.
Okay.
And really confuse Joe, but I don't know. I think it's like too disrespectful a little bit.
You think so?
I don't know if I can go through with the bit or not.
A Joker would appreciate that?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Is it like right in the middle? Like, I don't know.
Also, like,
I think Alondra needs to be T-Bob because T-Bob kind of, leaves it up. Like, that could be her name.
T-Bob could be a girl name. Yeah. Absolutely. Bobby's a girl name.
Jake, I don't think so.
No.
It's a team's call, though. They've probably done their research. They know what you guys look like. So
I doubt it.
No,
I don't think
there is
a 0% chance Joe Gatto has any idea what we look like.
0.0.
I can't even remember what he's promoting. I got to look this up.
He's on tour, and he's performing at the River Center.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. When? Look, see, you guys are more you're
Yeah,
prepped for the
you're
interview,
way more
guys.
prepared than I am.
You're prepped for the interview. Let's do a little switch.
It's Friday night.
What?
It's Friday night.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Bait and switch. I'm running the board.
So that'll be fun.
Yep, that's going to be a good time.
Let's get on Joe's Wikipedia and put together some good questions. Okay. Actually, chat, I know we have some big Impractical Joker fans in the chat, so if y'all could help us out as well, help us prep for the Joe interview, that'd be excellent.
Can we test it on Nick?
Joe Gatto questions?
No, like switching up on him?
Yeah, well, no, something tells me Nick will actually know
Who knows?
the difference. Hour 3 next.
Off the bench.
Go to K to Z window coverings.
Jerry.
TOZblinds.com. Jerry, why'd you steal Jerry?
Get some blinds for the stadium.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yes.
Are the press conference afterwards?
Yeah, Jerry, what's up, bro? What's going on, man?
Doing? Call Brandon.
You need some window coverings that wow.
You can. Hey, I know you're controlling. You can control them with a button.
Yeah.
You can have the remote in your pocket. You can drop them whenever you want, Jerry.
It's very easy. I mean, you could be like Jake and get that drop-down exterior shading for your outdoor kitchen guys, and you're grilling and chilling no matter what. But again, when we tell you about window coverage, it's unique to your house. What works best. We also work with all price points, and we work with whatever like the room's goals are, right? It's like a master bedroom or a baby room. Maybe you're looking for some quick blackout type of shades, or maybe you need something lighter, more. It's all there for you. Complimentary installation as well. Go to K2Z Window Coverings, KTOZblinds.com.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all.
Good morning. It's at 9 a.m. here on Tuesday, November 12th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect mostly sunny skies with a high of 83. In hour 3 of today's show, Nick Underhill of New Orleans.Football hops on at 9 a.m. to talk New Orleans Saints. Then we'll have Joe Gatto, formerly of Impractical Jokers, hop on at 9:30. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. You could, if you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch it in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert. Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome in. How about it, dude? The Rizzler era. What a start. The New Orleans Saints beating the Falcons on Sunday. And Nick Underhill's intrepid reporting on New Orleans.Football letting me know that Darren Rizzy actually clogged the head coach's toilet to start his Sunday, only to prove that when adversity comes, you got to overcome. How about it, Nick? What's going on, man? How we doing today?
Doing great. How you guys doing?
We're doing well. So I have that correct, right? It was Sunday morning when Darren Rizzy would have clogged the toilet. How in the hell do you know this?
I mean, he came out and just said it. I mean, that's just that's just who he is, man.
Oh, yeah,
I
missed that.
He's a high energy, honest, authentic individual. If his day started with him, clogging a toilet, he's going to tell you that he clogged the toilet. So that's just who he is, man. And I mean, you kind of saw it. I mean, you see it on the sidelines. That's who he's been the whole time he's been here. It's just kind of, never been in the forefront because he's on the sidelines going wild with the punters and kickers and the gunners and the jammers. I mean, it isn't something that you're looking at a whole lot, but just a very high individual. And from he starts with clogging the toilet, finishes with his legs giving out on the field. Like it was a lot, man. There was a lot of stuff going on.
What did you see, Nick, that was better in this game that hasn't been there during the losing streak when Dennis Allen was the head coach?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to sound like a hater or anything. I mean, the major difference, obviously, is their ability to close out a game. Like, they would lose this game 100 out of 100 times before. And honestly, like, when Alvin didn't catch that pass, I kind of put my hands on my head, like, they're going to blow us again. Like, there was no reason to have confidence, but somehow they were able to find it. And, you get a sack and you win the game on a sack. And that was another major difference is their pass rush plan was completely different. Like normally you see them doing the simulated pressures where they're putting 6-7 guys near the line of scrimmage on third down and there's 4 coming, 3 dropping. You don't know who's who, but there's never a one-on-one setup or an extra guy coming. That's kind of how they went about devising their pass rush plan. It was just kind of 4 guys down, 4 guys rushing, and you're going at it and, you're able to set some guys up. The substitutions were a little bit different. Defensive linemen are playing 4, 5, 6 snaps in a row instead of 1 and off, 2 and off. So you're getting into a flow a little bit. But, I would say anyone that's ready to go out and buy stock, this is Bitcoin rising right now. I would caution to say, I don't think they really played that good of a game. I think they kind of got away with one, but that's the difference. They weren't getting away with anything before. They got away with one here. I think there's still a lot to overcome. There's still a lot to be worried about. I don't think suddenly they're going to, make a playoff push or something. I don't even think 9 wins gets you in the playoffs this year, honestly. But I mean, I think they played better and they had confidence.
I'll say this. I think crypto is just replete with scams and is 99% BS. But I cannot grade the Saints the rank of Bitcoin even. I mean, this is a meme coin. This is Doge. This is whatever. They are not. They do not get to be the actual, maybe only stable part of an awful community. Because look, a big win on Sunday. But as a Saints fan, I don't know what I want. I'm someone who's always said winning is more fun than losing. and to enjoy the journey and all this other sorts of. I don't want to be tank guy. I don't want to be only caring about the draft guy at this point, but I also do fear getting a little juice and maybe getting to like six wins, right? And putting yourself right out of maybe where you would want to be from a drafting perspective. How do you think fans should or would or how would you like? How do you kind of deal with these two things that are at odds with one another?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of struggle with the same thing because, like, Tuesday morning, I'm sitting here like, damn, like, I wish they were in a position to maintain, a top 3 pick. And you're looking at it, and they've fallen down to, I think, 8th now. I haven't checked since the Miami game to see where they're at, but I think it's 8th. But yeah, on Tuesday morning, I'm looking at that, and on Tuesday morning, I'm like, yeah, obviously it's better for them to have a better draft pick, and I'm thinking not Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but damn, if on Sunday when you're watching the game, if you aren't thinking like, it would be really cool to see Rizzy make a run at this and see if he can win the job. How far can this go? Is he the right guy? I want to find all this stuff out. And then you go in the locker room and players are happy and you're telling good stories and all that stuff is
way better
great.
vibes.
But then you get on the other side of it and it's like, damn, like they aren't going to be able to get Will Campbell, are they? Like Shador's gone. Like looking at on that in a year where, what are there? There's 10 teams with 2 wins, 9 teams with 2 wins right now. Like the bottom of the league this year. And I know everyone, there was like this big Twitter argument yesterday about like football being better or worse or whatever. But if you look at the bottom of the league is much worse than it was a year ago. There are more teams with 2 or 3 losses than there were a year ago. Carolina currently, and I think we would probably all sit here and maybe agree that this is maybe one of the worst teams we've seen in the last decade. Like they currently have the 10th pick in the draft. The bottom of the league sucks right now. Winning a couple games like really could damage your draft stock. Last year you win 6, and I think that's the Giants, and they're picking like 5th. I don't think 6 wins gives you the 5th pick this year. It might give you like Sheldon Rankins. Like that might be where you're drafting. So by the middle of the week you're back looking at it. But damn it, on Sunday, like I want to see what they can do, and that was a lot more fun than what it has been.
Well, you definitely
for a
wanted
while.
to beat the Falcons. Like the Falcons, no matter what, you absolutely wanted to win. Whatever happens, you wanted to beat the Falcons. It's the rest of the games where I think it becomes a little more questionable.
They can beat the Browns. I think they can beat the Browns.
Yeah. No, they absolutely can. All right. So, Nick, we were kind of having a conversation about like maybe future players, and we were talking about like if you had to buy like a jersey for a future player for the Saints, like where would you go? I'll throw it to you maybe a different way, but kind of in the same conversation. If you could choose 3 players from this Saints team for the next 3 years, 3 players for 3 years, who would you take with you?
This is really challenging because like it feels like the gimme is Chris Olave, but then his health situation and all that
That's what we're talking about.
So, man. And then also you got to probably pay him $30 million or something. And I don't know if I want to do that either yet. I need to see a little bit more before I make that decision. I mean, I think he's a great piece on a team. Like if I'm I think situation would dictate that too. Like if I'm Houston and I have to, and I feel like one more, and Houston doesn't need another receiver, but like if you're a team in that situation, you feel like you're getting over the hump, like I would probably pay Chris $30 million to do that. If I'm the Saints and I have nothing and I'm trying to build something, I don't know if that's the best allocation of resources because I'm not ready to win right now. Personally, with like how that position has gone, I'm a draft a receiver early, like every 2 years guy now. Like that's kind of part of my draft manifesto or whatever at this point. But 3 players, like, so I think I would probably go Pete Werner.
Okay. I mean, surely I said Fuanga just because he's, recent first-round pick.
That's a good pick. It's a good pick. I would go probably Alante. I'd probably take Alante Taylor with me.
Taylor said, yeah.
So Taylor said.
I mean, it's a weird spot to be in because you have talented players, but there's like asterisks by a couple of those talented players, and it's like the contract situation. And like, yeah, sure, Trevor Penning's playing better, but you're not picking up his 5th-year option. And so, like, there's like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, there's like the conversation's weird because there's talent, but it's like we all have to think. Like, it took us a while to all kind of come up with 3 guys that we would move forward with this Saints franchise, and it kind of just shows you the state of where they're at right now.
And that's the highest. That's the highest graded player on the field, Trevor Penning. Thank you very much from Sunday.
Yeah, would definitely go Fuaga because like the positional value there is really high. Like I don't like the Werner pick, but I just feel like if you ask me like who are the best 3 young players on the team, he's one of them. But like I don't want to take a linebacker because I can draft a linebacker like very easily and probably replace that position. They don't have a ton of like the receiver thing is kind of the problem here because you want to keep both of them, but you don't want to keep like in this. I don't know. Like I don't want to pay Olave yet in the injury stuff, and I don't want to invest heavily in Shaheed either. I need a wide receiver 1. I don't know that they necessarily have that. It's tough. Like Eric McCoy could be a sneaky pick, but he's 27, and I don't want to put that value on a center either. So yeah, that's a tough exercise, man. Who are your guys' picks? Who are all the guys on your list?
We only did one jersey, and I said Fuanga. That would be the jersey. I also said
Alante Taylor was Taylor's pick.
Yeah,
he said Fuaga. Gosh, I don't know. I don't even know. Like right now, who my choice would be. I mean, it's like, is Eric McCoy still young enough to be able? Because we've seen like what this Saints offensive line is without him, and how crucial he is to the success of the entire offensive line. And so like,
yeah, but anybody who has value, I feel like I don't know.
It's just the whole conversation, Nick, started because, like, anybody with value, it does feel like there's still question marks, either because of age, because of contract, because of health. It was kind of really just an exercise to point out where you're at. Like, nobody said Brian Brzee, and you just took him in the first round, a couple of drafts ago. It's like, where do you kind of go? And like, what are the building blocks for this franchise if they do finally hit a soft reset or maybe a full reset and moving forward with whoever the new coach is?
Nick?
Yeah, not taking anything away from McCoy. I think he's a great player. I mean, obviously, but if that says more about the team than I think about, and again, he's great, but like you shouldn't be looking at the center in that spot.
What do we think about Nick? Did you see Zach Bond's comments the other day? Where he was kind of talking about,
not.
Okay, so well then never mind. He was just talking about going from New Orleans to Philadelphia and how he felt like uncomfortable here. Basically, he described like when he left high schools, like his old high school, he didn't feel like he was so uncomfortable. Could it be himself? Then he gets this new one. He's empowered. He's doing great. We can have that conversation another day. You mentioned Rizzy maybe getting the job, and that's a hypothetical that we've played with that we're getting way out over our skis. But let's say the Saints win, like because of the need to feel like it's time for a reset, is there any number of wins in which Darren Rizzy could actually become the Saints' next head coach?
What do they got? 7 games left? I would say if they won like 6 of those, I mean, it's probably a pretty serious conversation. Maybe 5, like starts the conversation. I don't think they're going to get there, though. And, I'm willing to be super wrong on that. Like, I think logically, like, I didn't think they were going to win this game by any possibility either. And they did. But, I think 5, 6 wins, like, you got to have a serious conversation. And then the wild card here. And look, I know they just made this, like, massive seismic change. But a big piece of this, though, is that these are people that have historically shown us that they like to operate within their little universe. And if he gives them a reason, I think that reason could become something that they lean into. Look, I think there's a weird thing here. So kind of my thought process on this is if you could have a situation, because I think they're going to be bad for a while. Like if you could have a situation man, and this sounds so disrespectful to Rizzy, but just academically speaking,
you want to make him the bridge
if you're looking
guy.
at it like the Raiders, okay, Antonio Pierce wins the job, kind of. The locker room's all the way behind them. Their season goes in the tank. They're terrible. They probably obviously have to replace their head coach at the end of the year. But now you got a bad season eaten by a guy that the players were behind in a situation where success was probably not really going to be possible.
Yeah.
If you end up in a spot where the locker room is bought into the coach, and you can maintain your culture for a year and nobody's pissed off because the team did something responding to you, and now you get to eat a bad year. Like, so if you got into a spot where like either Rizzy proves he's a great coach and he gets the job, he wins 5, 6 games. Next season, they do great. They win 9, 10 games. They make the playoffs. That's an amazing outcome. You found like a Dan Campbell. Like that's the best possible outcome here. But also, if you're in that spot and he wins the job and you have a bad season and you can clean up your cap and you clear the $60 million in dead money, and then a year from now you're in a better position to kind of set it up, that's not the worst thing either. So, like, if you were to find a way to maintain this job, I don't necessarily look at it as a terrible thing, even if you, because my expectation is that next year is going to be a lost season, whether you get Mike Vrabel or you have Darren Rizzy. Like, I don't think it matters. And by the way, I heard Vrabel don't want this job. So, like, I'm not tipping anything here.
Well, I mean,
but
to your point with this idea of like a potential, like basically patsy or fall guy, the idea would be in the future, it makes it a more attractive job for whoever the best candidate is at the time.
Or he just does a great job and he's the coach. It's like, I don't think him keeping the job would be a terrible thing if he earns it, because I think next year is going to be terrible. Like, I really do. Like, if you can clean it up and you get to a year from now and you can go out and you have, $70 million in cap space to spend, that makes the job a little bit better than negative $70 million. No hope, like I just don't think this is going to be a great job next year.
So typically when you go and you fire your coach, you go away from what you just did. And for Dennis Allen, he had nothing for you to fall back on when times were tough. And so let's say they do try to go get their coach for the next 6 years. Like, what do you think it's going to, like, what do they envision bringing in, I guess? Like, don't you want to go the opposite of what you just had and bring somebody in where you can at least say, hey, I know it's not going great right now, but we can look back at his resume. He was the head coach. He won here. He won there. He made the playoffs a couple of times. Because, like, you never had that, and that was something that I think was a problem for the Saints, because how bad Dennis Allen was with the Raiders, like, you never felt like, hey, he's been in this situation before, he fixed it, it was just all bad.
If I'm the GM, like, my ideal hire here, it's not keeping anyone. It's like I want anything that's ever touched the Sean Payton plate, like, gone.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want anybody that's even been to that buffet. I don't want anyone.
Yep.
Like, I want something completely different. So, like, I would start there. And that, Aaron Glenn might be a great coach. I don't have a strong opinion on who they hire, because I was super wrong on the last one. I thought this was going to work. If they bring in Aaron Glenn, like, I wouldn't be against it at all. But, like, I don't even like that. Like, I just would. If you're asking me, like, I just want a fresh start. I want everything gone. I'm starting from zero. I'm not trying to hold on to anything. I'm not trying to preserve the way things are done. Like, I might not even want someone that's part of, like, the Parcells, like, tree. Just, like, get me completely away from it if I have a preference. Been there, done that, time to move on. Yeah, I think kind of like a little bit of a disciplinarian wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for this team. Like,
I agree.
The biggest issue, I think, was accountability. There wasn't a ton of it. So I would want somebody that just kind of is just, we're doing things this way, totally bought in. Somebody that's, just a little bit better with messaging and leadership. Just those are the qualities that I would hold paramount to the top. And then, play calling and all that would be secondary to kind of some of those things for me, because that would be the opposite of it all. Preferably offensive minded, but like, if you get me the right guy with the right leadership qualities, like, I'm okay with kind of like whatever direction they go next year.
Nick Underhill, Nick_Underhill on Twitter. New Orleans on Football is a site. Go sub today, guys. You will be, it's just the best resource for constant Saints inside information. Nick, thank you so much, my friend.
Yeah, guys, take it easy.
Look, guys, chances are that this South Louisiana sports scene right now, maybe outside of Tulane, has you feeling a bit limp. Well, go to yourgoodwood.com. Okay, Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, where we are taking control of our lives. Okay, we are no longer settling for mediocrity, either in the bedroom or just walking around. If you are suffering from ED, Goodwood gonna get you right, okay? And quickly, affordably, with transparent pricing, no surprises, none of that BS. But maybe it's ED medicine, maybe it's maybe you're suffering from low testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. Maybe it's one of the many of the other anti-aging treatments that they have. The bottom line is we're gonna customize a plan for you to get you where you want to be. So go to yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. All right, coming up next here on OTB, let's do a little NFL story of the day. Keep it locked.
Off the bench.
Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.com is the website. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge is where you can get your next vehicle. And it could be anything from a sedan to a massive truck, new, used, whatever. Rent, it's all there at All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. And remember, the Body Shop and Service Center open to all makes and models. So take advantage of the free estimates, factory parts right there on site, the excellent lines of communication, quick turnaround times, All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
Hey, go to the website today, see what you can buy new, see what you can lease, and see what you can rent. Everything is available in all three of those processes. And so no matter what you're looking for, no matter what your needs are, they're going to be met over at All-Star. Midsize, full-size SUV, van, multiple trucks, multiple hybrids, multiple sedans. It is all there for you. So if you've got a trip coming up for the holidays and you don't want to take your vehicle, or maybe you need something just bigger, whatever it might be, call Miss Lisa Sessions today in that rental department, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment.
Dave's back on.
Coors Light. Choose chill.
The only thing scary about the deals at Bayou Ford is if you miss out on them, like $15,000 off F-150. Bayou Ford has $15,000 off Ford F-150. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated.
Back to sports talk. Maybe. Off the bench.
All right, Tay-Tay, give us a little NFL story of the day.
It's time for Tay-Tay's NFL story of the day. Your daily dose of NFL news from Taylor Sharp.
Well, we have a coaching vacancy in the NFL now, but it's not head coach. The Chicago Bears have fired Shane Waldron. It's just his first year as the offensive coordinator. They announced that late last night. If you remember, he was the offensive coordinator with the Seahawks the last couple of years. Hot commodity. Saints had talked about him.
Yeah.
Basically, everybody who needed an offensive coordinator last year wanted a piece of Shane Waldron. He is gone. Look, they have scored just 27 points over their last 3 games. They are averaging just 277 yards per game. That is the 3rd lowest in the NFL. They are basically a bottom 5 team in every single offensive category. And it's actually worse than that. They have not scored a touchdown on 23 straight offensive drives. This goes all the way back to week 8. It's the longest active streak in the NFL. The offensive line, they've allowed 15 sacks over the last 2 games, including 9 this past Sunday against the New England Patriots. They gave up 9 sacks in one NFL game. And again, they are about bottom 5. And points per game, 24th, yards per carry, 28th, yards per pass, 30th, total yards, 30th, third down percentage, 31st, and yards per play, 31st. So they are bottom 5 in the league.
Yeah, a lot of that ain't on the O-line alone.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams holds on to that football entirely too long.
You gotta let the kid sit for a minute, dude. It's like the Anthony Richardson situation. You're not helping him by just throwing him out there and letting his confidence continue to just dissipate and disappear. I think you gotta sit Williams for a little bit.
They're not going to.
No.
I hear you.
I get it. And then Jaden Daniels is making everything worse for all the other rookie quarterbacks. But sorry, Jaden's awesome.
In Sunday's loss, the Bears offense 1 for 14 on 3rd down. That's a 7% conversion rate. It's the worst mark in the NFL since 2012. Not good in Chicago, guys.
But they didn't go 0-14.
No, they did not. They got 1.
Yeah.
Didn't see it. I imagine it's probably
Are they still like 500 though?
They're 4-5.
It
ain't due to their offense.
I know that's got to be so frustrating because that means you got a lot of good stuff going on otherwise. But I don't know. The Bears are one of those franchises that seem to just be a bit offensively cursed.
Well, because what did they talk about coming into the year? Guys, watch out for Caleb Williams. No rookie has had this type of weapons. You bring in Keenan Allen. You already had DJ Moore. You drafted Rome Odunze. He was supposed to have a solid offensive line. That's what was said coming into the year. You had Cole Kmet at tight end.
The offensive line is probably better than they're getting credit for.
Well, 100%. I think a large part of this is Caleb Williams, but just 16 to 30 for 120 yards against the Patriots.
Sitting did work for Bryce Young, as Chad's pointing out.
Ish. Yeah.
It got better. I'm saying it got better.
Yes. We'll see.
So, I don't know. Maybe.
But Bryce didn't have those players around him that we just laid out there. Like, you have to also, Caleb Williams has to take some of the blame here. I know he's a young player, but that doesn't mean as much as it used to in the NFL. No. Like, Jaden's got some weapons, not near as many as coming into the season that Caleb had. And, people are considering him, having a bad game where he didn't throw an interception. He threw for 200 yards. And everybody's like, I just, didn't have the greatest game. But that's the expectation that Jaden has put on himself.
Yeah, it's crazy. Jaden Daniels smashing all the other rookie quarterbacks thus far. All right, when we get back here on OTB, we got a quick segment. Then we got our guy Joe Gatto from Impractical Jokers coming up. Keep it locked here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Go to trashrangers.com. Trashrangers.com. If you need reliable and hassle-free trash removal in South Louisiana, you want Trash Rangers, the local guys that give a damn about you and the community, okay? You can always rely on them to get the job done and to go the extra miles, while they send you messages the night before it's your date, or you never get out to put your cans out again. It's why if you are a business owner anywhere in the listening area, you need somebody who understands the flexible needs of a business. You need front-load dumpsters emptied up to 6 days a week. You need any size roll-off dumpster. All of it in one shop, okay? The local guys, Trash Rangers of Louisiana, trashrangers.com.
Yeah, go to the website today. You can sign up for residential and commercial service. Also, check out those roll-off dumpsters. We tell you about 3 different sizes to choose from. So call them at 225-363-9053. Tell them what you've got going on. They're going to make sure you have the right size dumpster on your project. trashrangers.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is,
the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered.
Welcome in to the best morning sports-ish show around. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Welcome back. Hey, do you want to remind you about Coleman Roofing and Construction? ColemanRoof.com, ColemanRoof.com, Louisiana's most complete, reliable, respected roofing company. Any size project that you need, commercial, residential, anywhere in the state, any type of roof, Coleman Roofing and Construction is your answer. And as I always tell you, listen on the end there, construction. So, you have any sort of interior damage that needs to be fixed from the roof? Well, guess what? They fix it, then they do the roof. There's a reason why over 40 years they've had so much success. They've grown so much. Go to ColemanRoof.com, ColemanRoof.com. God, I love Johnny Quest. Y'all are fans of Johnny Quest? Somebody mentioned Johnny Quest in the chat. Now
I watch Johnny Quest, for sure.
Taylor does actually look like Johnny Quest, to be
little
fair.
bit, he does.
Which makes me very jealous. There's nothing that I would have loved more when I was younger than to look like Johnny Quest.
So is that why you? That's why you put down on me. It
Yes.
comes from a place of jealousy.
Yes.
I always assume that, but
Yes,
I'm just glad it's
exactly.
confirmed.
I don't know that I'm sure that parts of the show haven't aged great, maybe like Haji, but I love Haji. I always did. There's a very funny. None of y'all ever watched Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law? I'm guessing on Adult Swim.
Yeah.
They had a very funny custody battle episode where it's Ray Spannon and Dr. Quest, who are in a homosexual relationship, fighting kind of for basically custody of the kids. Although, to be fair, maybe nobody is straighter in television history than Ray Spannon. That was one sexy, manly son gun, dude. Who was the woman he used to get with? Jade? Yes, Jade, I believe it was. Dr. Zim? Yeah, if anybody watched Venture Bros on Adult Swim, that was basically just Johnny Quest parody. It's really good. Jeremy Fryer, AT, what do you think of the Ralph Bakshi animated Tolkien movies? You're going to be shocked. I've never actually seen the old animated Lord of the Rings or anything. So I don't know. I don't have a great opinion. I like some of the clips that I've seen. I actually saw a very interesting clip of one of the old movies with Howard Shore's score put behind a scene to the original music, then with the Howard Shore score. And it really speaks to the power of, the music in a movie, because the scene was kind of blech whatever before, and then was like actually really damn good afterwards. Which also, I don't think I talked about that here yesterday, but I just watched the John Williams documentary over the weekend, and I'll be damned if it doesn't really reinforce how much of a movie is made by the musical choices and direction. Like, there's multiple times in there where Spielberg somehow, like, he didn't even realize the movie that he was making until John Williams got a hold of it. Like Jaws especially, right? Spielberg thought he was making like a horror movie, which it is, right? But if you really, but originally Spielberg had it sounded with like, all kind of like shrieks and discordant sort of stuff. And then Williams come in, he's like, no, this is like a pirate adventure movie, which the soundtrack does end up reflecting. God, so good. So good.
Most of the time y'all say I look like a guy that like doesn't resemble me at all.
But this actually looks like
I'll give you Johnny Quest.
Yeah.
I
see, this is New Adventures Johnny Quest. I'm going to need you to go back to 1960s Johnny Quest. Much better.
Okay.
But yes, you he's the most generic blonde white guy.
Yeah,
in the world.
I'll give you that one.
So, yeah, look at my guy, dude. Race, Haji, Bandit, Dr. Quest, the whole gang's all here. All right, when we get back, let's talk to Joe Gatto of Practical Jokers. Keep it locked here at OTB.
Off the bench.
Go to iticollege.edu, iticollege.edu. The number to call is 225-267-8003, 267-8003. That lets them know you come from OTB. I just want you to get in touch with them however you remember to, okay? Whether it's going to the website, calling the number. Because honestly, I believe in what the ITI does. I believe in the mission. They're helping Louisiana, young people, old people, whoever, find careers. Not jobs, but careers that give long-term stability, that give benefits, that provide for families themselves down the road over time. That can be you. If you feel lost, you can get that better life with ITI College. Beautiful campus right there off of airline, financial aid, great schedules, flexible scheduling. It's all there for you, iticollege.edu.
Yeah, go see them off Airline Highway as well in Baton Rouge. You can schedule a campus tour right there on the homepage of the website. It's got the contact information. Contact them today for a better life, iticollege.edu.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Atmos Energy, our Smart Choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly
Back to sports talk. Maybe. Off the bench.
What's going on, y'all? Okay, so, no, Joe, we're working to get in touch with Joe right now. See, okay, cool. He said he should be there any second. Probably just wrap up the last one. So, I guess the Penguin Show finished, and everybody keeps talking about how incredible the Penguin Show is, so I'm excited to watch it.
I'm 2 episodes in, and I hadn't got a chance to, because flag football.
Yeah.
But it's been, the 2 episodes I watched were fantastic. Yeah,
it's
I heard. Really, I mean,
the ending must have been strong because there were a flurry of messages after it ended and tweets about how like this is one of the best shows I've seen, et cetera, et cetera. So, but I guess it spurred a deeper conversation about Batman and killing, not killing, whatever. We'll get to it later because right now we got Joe Gatto of formerly of the Impractical Jokers, now on tour doing stand-up. Let's get into it. He will be at the River Center Theater this Friday, 7 p.m. You go to the River Center website, Ticketmaster, go get your tickets. Joe, what's going on, man? Thanks for doing the media car wash with us today. How we feeling this morning?
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, so I'm going to start here because the craziest, and I'm sure there's crazier things, but one of the craziest things that I could find about you is that you currently have 14 dogs. Some information may be a little old, and their names are as follows: Cannoli, Biscotti, Spumoni, Napoleon, Cotta, Strafoli, Tortoni, Fettuccine Alfredo, little unwieldy there, Gnocchi, Tiramisu, Burrata, Gelato, Calzone, and Nutella. Is this true?
Some of those are dead. But
okay,
yes, for the most part, we got some new ones in there, so they mix it up. But right now, I currently have 12 dogs that are us.
What?
Yeah, we have 12 that are ours. I run a rescue here in New York, and 12 of them are mine, and we have, I think, 11 that are up for adoption right now. So Gatto Pups and Friends is my charity that we run out of here in New York. And
that is amazing. Yeah. That's a lot to take on, but that's for a good cause. That's very kind of you giving back. My next question is twofold. Out of the dogs, did you have a favorite? And which of those foods would be your favorite?
Cannoli's the favorite food. Spumoni's the favorite dog.
Okay, there you go.
That's quick.
Easy money. He had it ready to go, dude.
Yeah. I know what I like.
Yeah.
Well, and you like comedy, right? So talk to me about the tour. Or talk to me about this. When like we do this show every day, right? And it's an entertainment show. It's public. You're talking to people. And I try to be funny, but the idea of stand-up is deeply terrifying to me. What did you always know you wanted to do stand-up? Like what originally made you want to go for it?
Well, no, stand-up was, the first time I did stand-up was after I actually left the show, is whenever I started doing solo.
Oh, wow.
I performed live forever, though. I've been performing live comedy since 99. Me and the guys started doing improv comedy. Then I moved to sketch comedy. Then I toured with the boys, for 8 years on stage together. But then when I left the show, the bill's still coming. You got to figure out what you're going to do.
Yeah.
And I knew that I love to make people laugh. And my team was like, hey, why don't you try your hand at stand-up and see how you do there? You're not, a stranger to the stage. So I tried and I loved it. I love the art form. I think it's so much format for me. It's a nice way to have some time to talk for 60 minutes and give stuff to people they can relate about. But my favorite thing is to make it an event. Life's tough. Have people come out for a date night,
Yep.
forget about all the BS, and just come out and have a good time. So that's my favorite part about it.
All right, so T-Bob and I both played football, and there's certainly some games that we got maybe a little bit more nervous for than others, and some, you just go out there and you take care of business. For you, what's the most nerve-wracking situation that you can remember being on stage doing stand-up or in the show, or any situation where you had to make people laugh?
Oh, that's a great question. I always had the benefit of just being myself. Like even on the show, right? I didn't play a character. I was just Joe.
Right.
So I kind of didn't have to worry about like a performance in that spec. Like I didn't have to worry about remembering my lines or, waiting for people to hit their cues. So that it was a different thing for me. I do remember sometimes I was in situations and I would be like, how am I going to make this funny? When it wasn't going the right way, So I think because like you're just out there, you're talking to people. Sometimes you get a dud. Somebody's not giving you what you need to try to make it funny.
Yeah.
But I think I always able to find the moment to make it awkward. I would just turn it always inwards and just make myself really look really weird. I look really uncomfortable. And I think it panned out for the most part. I do remember when I played the Beacon Theater in New York, which was one of the, it's an iconic theater here in New York. I had never played that. I played Radio City and MSG with the boys, but I hadn't played Beacon. That was like the one that had gotten away from me. So I did that by myself. My family was with me. A bunch of people were there. So that was like, I was really juiced for that one. So that was a really great one.
So that's interesting then that the stand-up is a recent development, but as you said, a life spent on stage. What would you say are the main differences in doing a live and practical joke show or doing an improv show, sketch comedy, whatever have you? What's the main differences between that and now doing stand-up?
The stand-up's good because you get to craft it a little bit more, right? Because improv happens whenever it happens. When you're on the stage with the guys, you're responsible for 25% of the funding, right?
Yeah.
So you're not talking for the full 65 minutes. So then when you're up there by yourself, it's good and bad, right? If the show sucks, it's your fault. But if it's great, you did it. So like it's a little different that way, I think. But I really enjoy like being able to spend time talking about what I want to talk about, like spend time inside my stories. And with this new tour I created, Let's Get Into It, I've become fascinated, especially as a dad now, like how do people become the people they are, right? And the only journey you know is yourself. So I just look at what I am now, this bold, crazy, brave stand-up comedian. And I started as like this super nerdy, geeky kid who was into like, magic and math. Like, and it was just such a weird thing to become. Like I used to make tests for my father when he would like be at work 10 hours a day selling life insurance door to door. He would come home to me and I'd like pop quiz pops, like it's just such a different thing, So that's really what I get to tell those stories. And you have these core memories that just shape you. And it's fun to reflect on that stuff.
So how many times in your life, because we even toyed around with it today, has somebody tried to pull an impractical joke on you? Because we were thinking about it. We were like, hey, we'll go to the producer chairs. The producers will come here. They'll host it. We were trying to.
Because you're like, he's not going to know. Like, he doesn't actually know at all who we are. But then, I don't know. We thought maybe a little different.
But I feel like you probably get that all the time.
No, I think people know better.
Okay,
I've been doing this a long time. So it's like, it's kind of hard to get one over. When something starts going on the side, like I'll either, like I remember this one time they had me on a morning show. I forgot what this was. It was someplace. And I was doing this morning show and I was waiting in the green room and they had a photographer who had taken a picture at the zoo of this monkey and he was going to be the guest. So he had one of his cameras out that he was cleaning on the side. And then he went in the bathroom and just started making all these like poop noises.
Yeah.
And I was like,
come on.
Okay. I was like, oh. So then I just leaned into it. I was like, do you need help? Do you want me to get medicine for you? Can I get you? And I was like knocking on the door. I'm like, are you all right? Are you all right? And he thought it was going great.
Oh, man. I mean, look, you can't BS.
Like, oh, you figured it out. I was like, of course I figured it out. What are you kidding me? I've been doing this 20 years.
Yeah.
You can't BS a BSer. So in 2020, you published The Dog Father, My Love for Dogs, Dessert, and Growing Up Italian. We can see the love of dogs and dessert right there in all the dogs and their names. But it's interesting to hear you talk about how your life has been kind of shaped, right? And what led you here. What was, and it sounds like obviously your Italian heritage is, at the core of all of that. What was your favorite, or maybe because here in the South, we don't have quite as much of that, was maybe your favorite or most unique part, do you believe, of growing up in kind of that traditional Northeastern Italian family?
I think I got to tell you, these questions are phenomenal, guys. I think the main thing, like for me, was like when you grow up with a family that's inviting. Like my mom always had an extra plate set, at the table. If there was somebody was, my friends were all playing in the backyard. My dad, if I had to come out for dinner, would let the kids still play in my yard. Like he wouldn't make everybody go home, and I would just be sitting there eating. He was like, it was a very welcoming house, and I think that part of your culture, like. Really is that like you don't go to a place empty-handed. If I'm a guest at somebody's place, I pick up, a cake or some pastry or something. You show up like that. I think those things get.
Oh, sorry, Joe. I did not mean to go.
And my cousins and everybody.
I did not mean to awkwardly interrupt you. Cut out for a second there. I apologize.
Oh, okay.
But
no worries.
So you mentioned kind of the welcoming atmosphere. I'm guessing the big Sunday family dinners and everything were always a part of it. What you mentioned your dad though going door to door selling life insurance, right? And now here you are, and you're in the entertainment business. It's glamorous, but I imagine the work ethic is kind of the connective tissue there. Do you feel like that's something you carried from your dad?
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah. Definitely a hard worker, provide for the family, make sure you show up. I think that's definitely all parts from my dad.
How do we feel about red sauce? Because I got to be honest, me and Jake, we like a sweet red sauce. Yeah. Is a sweet red sauce allowed in your household, or is that anathema?
I like a sweet red sauce. I do like a little spice to my stuff. I go fra diavolo or arrabbiata. Like I like a little bit of a punch. You want to know it's. Oh man, what's going on with my internet?
I'm so sorry, dude. I feel like we keep sitting here on dog and it's going, well, I apologize. Look, let's get into it. Coming to the River Center Theater this Friday, 7 p.m. Go get your tickets now if you haven't already. And Joe, thank you for everything you do, man, with the dog shelter. So you're a big advocate though of adopting, not shopping, when it comes to getting your next pet.
Oh, for sure. I think there's a lot of dogs out there that need some love, a lot of animals that need it. So you might as well go get one. It's a lot cheaper. And you give them a nice home. And they're very appreciative. They love it.
Yeah, just kind of a reminder. So in our listening area, obviously we're, Baton Rouge, but we go outside of Baton Rouge. Mobile on the 14th, Baton Rouge on the 15th, Shreveport, which we're also, you can catch us on the Tiger there. He's coming to the Strand Theater on November the 16th. So in our listening area, go check out Joe.
All right, Joe.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much, man. This was really fun. Sorry, my internet jacked up.
Nah, dude, it's all good,
we
man.
Appreciate you.
Keep kicking ass on the tour. Keep kicking ass stand-up. Thank you for coming on, man. You have a great morning.
Okay, you too. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Later. Pierce Lee, maybe Wi-Fi is the biggest prankster of all. Yeah. God.
It gets Dev all the time.
I know. I agree, though, dude. Shelter dogs. I've always been a big. I mean, whatever. My dog's a mutt. I guess not technically from a shelter. We took him in from some guy who's just giving away the puppies. Does that count?
I think so.
That count? Yeah. Giving him a home.
Yeah, we got our last lab, Molly, from the LSU shelter right there.
God, we're really vibing there for a second, dude.
Really
we had it, and then the freaking Wi-Fi screwed
it
up.
went well. It's fine.
Yeah,
I think he appreciated that we didn't just ask the same questions.
Yeah,
he's gotten probably all day today.
I think we did. Yeah, I think we did an okay job.
Nice job,
there.
group.
Yeah, good. That was good teamwork there. Just like the good teamwork that you get from Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding, GEAUXTommies.com, GEAUXTommies.com. You need hardy plank or vinyl siding, wood or vinyl windows, any type of door, you want to go to Tommy's. You get them free estimates. Make them one of the bits, right? And let them prove it to you why they are the man for it. I'm sweating now.
Why?
I'm sweating now because the Wi-Fi. I hate that. I just hate, because then like I'm awkwardly like, do I jump in? Is he still talking? Then you jump in, and then it finally comes back in, and he is still talking. Is he just sitting there saying nothing? Like, Jesus. Whatever. Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cold Curse Light, Zero Filter, Blue Moon, Light Sky, Citrus Sweet.
I don't think there's any.
No, Jeremy Fryer says half husky, half English bulldog. Talking about his dog. She's a mix of the most hyper and most lazy dog breed. That's insane. That is a mix that I have never conceived of or would have thought of.
Me either. That's a crazy mix.
What's everybody got going on the rest of the day?
I don't know, but my thing with the
Flag
Impractical
football.
Jokers thing, though, like, I don't know how they do it and not cringe or get, like, secondhand embarrassment, because you do the most embarrassing things to people.
I know, and I would have liked to get into that with him. I got throwed by the Wi-Fi.
It was the Wi-Fi.
Because I guess how I would have tried to frame it was like, how long did it take you to build up a callousness to that, right? Because eventually, like he said, you've done the reps. It's old hat. He's probably not embarrassed by anything nor the end. But like in the beginning, it had to be terrifying. Yeah. Or maybe it stayed terrifying. I don't know. All right, guys, we love you. We'll see you on tomorrow's show. It is Wednesday. Hopefully we'll have Matt Flynn here in studio. Who else do we have lined up for Wednesday? Are we talking to Taylor tomorrow? He's going to be on the sidelines this weekend. That's Thursday we end up doing. All right.
Mulkey?
No. Oh, yeah, we are going to talk to Coach Mulkey tomorrow. That's right. Normally should be on Tuesday, but should be on Wednesday tomorrow. Recap today's game. Go to the PMAC, 11 a.m. today. Later.
Off the bench.
Go to AgTemp Baton Rouge, AgTempBR.com, AgTempBR.com. Ask the bench, can we fire Willie Green? I don't know that it's going to have much of a choice. I still like Willie. I don't know, whatever. AgTemp Baton Rouge, AgTempBR.com. All your AC, heat, and electrical needs under one roof where you get service to the highest degree. And that is not just lip service. They walk that walk. That's why they have such incredible customer reviews with thousands of reviews. They're a proud partner of LSU Athletics. And if you're in the market for a whole home generator to protect you, your family, your home during storm season, that's AgTemp. AgTemp Baton Rouge, AgTempBR.com.
You can schedule your appointment online today. And look, at some point, you are going to need the heater, but you need AC right now. You're going to have to go back and forth. Don't shock the system. Make sure it's working exactly like it's supposed to, and AgTemp's going to make sure of that for you. AgTempBR.com.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf